like bitch. What's the status, 3?
I'm good, just making the world a better place, that's all.
Hurricane 313.
This a breath of the ancestors. With this time a hawk, you get your head severed. Creep up in the building, get the fair records. My Beretta was gold plated with the suppressor. Feel the pressure of heavy rates, nothing lesser. I'm the god of storms, I control the weather. So clever, you fools should know better. When I come through better until the storm shelter. Flow better, hip hop is forever. We take the government down, we write no letters. Take hold of the crime, we make the throne better. I turn this whole world into a Coachella. Pick up the pack of a pistol, pop you like pimple simple. People packing pistols, the population of evil tremble. I resemble the revolution, no ancient temples. Haters better watch your tone, or you get dismembered. This the breath of the ancestors. Better watch your tone or get your head severed. This the breath of the ancestors. Better watch your tone or get your head severed. This the breath of the ancestors. Better watch your tone or get your head severed. This the breath of the ancestors. Better watch your tone or get your head severed. Cracking bottles overhead to make them wobble. Don't like the TV show, nigga, just change the channel. Genocidal, these lyrics might hold the title. Carry Bibles, mind goons, they carry rifle. Very tribal, sometimes be very primal. 8 or 15, I'm killing every rival. They say it's mediocre, cut you up into pieces and leave your body parts inside your easy sofa. Be the soldier, you see my soldiers, they creeping over. Parkour type shit, you see us sleeping over. Jack your chain, you understand, you catching hands. Kick your ass through the van, I think you dead, man. Fuck a fizzle, the fragile fickle. Feel like I got a blast at the government quicker than anybody, nigga. Split your body apart and throw you in the river. This the revolution, you gotta deal with us. This the breath of the ancestors. Better watch your tone or get your head severed. This the breath of the ancestors. Better watch your tone or get your head severed. This the breath of the ancestors. Better watch your tone or get your head severed. This the breath of the ancestors. Better watch your tone or get your head severed. This the breath of the ancestors. Better watch your tone or get your head severed. This the breath of the ancestors. Better watch your tone or get your head severed. This the breath of the ancestors. Better watch your tone or get your head severed. This the breath of the ancestors. Better watch your tone or get your head severed.
The Bakushi is the master of illusion. And if everyone believes the illusion, it becomes reality. Bakushi thinks he's won the game, but he didn't count on a pinch hitter.
All is continuous vibration, always in motion. Conductor of energy, assault in the ocean. Serpent is the sine wave, polarities interwoven. A chemical sorcery, elixirs and potions. Resonant frequencies, molecular explosions. Your daily programs is heavy doses of hypnosis. People walk around blind even though their eyes are open. No time for ideological salesmen with biblical notions. That box in your room, televised lies through your vision. It doesn't matter your race, status, or religion. No longer I have to beat you when your mind is locked in prison. That food is filled with toxins, it's why you can't think clear. Illusion of choice is your option while keeping all in fear. Load up all your weaponry, the revolution is here. I said load up all your weaponry, the revolution is here.
We ain't in the same place, or occupy the same space. So get the fuck out my face.
In the instant, I changed the mission with photosynthesis. Witness the synthesis, ripping endless on instruments. Feel the frequency, energy off this Hennessy synergy. Literally those that take us to infinity. Reading articles, all is horrible, calling audibles. I'm remarkable, I shot a fed at a carnival. Dust and particles, follicles gon' be everywhere. Heavy pair of some pistols, I shot them holding that teddy bear. Fuck the system, let's keep it simple, let's raise the temple. Make them triple while you're going to where they all assemble. Not Avengers, I'm the Avenger, I seek to injure. Kept my temper till I stuck the hidden blade up in her. Fuck the ruler, here's what they doing to you. Poison water in the food is what you put into you. I'm the shooter with new maneuvers. Caught back to Ruger, super trooper. He is gonna need a pooper scooper. The revenge of Montezuma. Rocking my Pumas, uppercut like a Kuma, sending you straight to Luna. Cosmic verses from universes on new excursions, emerging the virgin. I pull the back the iron curtain. War leaders are war eaters, born cheaters, war sneakers, rearrange their core features. Born reaper, hurricane, the sword keeper, form ether, burn all of the mold geezers. Up in government, parliament, bitch, I'm tarnishing arguments, ain't no bargaining, throw a bomb in the audience. I'm the guardian, strange you all in the cardigan, rearrange the universe, I am the artisan.
We ain't in the same place or occupy the same space. So get the fuck out my face.
As a king, fighting the spirit of Mesa King, vibing to my queen, playing the tambourine, while I'm eating the tangerine. My plasma was replaced with gasoline, got the blood of the Elohim, manifesting through a dream, a shit you never seen. I got the eyes of Medusa and the hands of Wolverine, astral project with my inner being. We locked in the inner ring, hoping the Anunnaki intervene. While the world is under siege, they got an abyss under the sea, living underneath. Lightning struck me standing under a tree while I was crumbling weed and an angel swooped down, put me under her wing. Now she shields me from my desires the devil brings. Say my name in vain and you will never bleed. Say my name in vain and you will never bleed.
The Bakushi is the master of illusion. And if everyone believes the illusion, it becomes reality.
Listen. Continuous vibration. I'm always in motion. Conductor of energy like salt in our oceans. Alchemical sorcery, elixirs and potions. Polka dot shrooms got my third eye open. Deep in my memories, bending time and space. My brain has archives, I'm digging in the crates. Reflect on the past, sometimes I have to numb the pain. The repetition of thoughts will drive a man deranged. We're born into shin, born with the lack of knowledge. To my family and elders, I'm always paying homage. The capital's direct current on this motherboard of wattage. The current is currency when dealing with dollars. Time is money, and money is time. The sun, the moon, the stars, electric and divine. Cymatic magnetron, frequencies align. It's written in the heavens, can your eyes see the signs? Anyway, both verses sound similar because they are. I think I like them both. I thought I had lost that rhyme. And little did I know, the one you just heard, I thought I lost it. So I rewrote it, and that's the one you hear on Television, the song with me, Hurricane, and SIRDROP, the one I just played. That verse is the rewrite. The original one you just heard. But I like the original for some reason. I like them both. I think they're both tough. Man, that's my new favorite song. A Breath from the Ancestors. That shit's fire. Then Hurricane's got another song. If I'm not mistaken, it's I got it here. It's either
It's either Loud Pack or Go Berserk. It's the one where Hurricane, it's like giving a tribute to 3-6 Mafia. That shit's tough, the way Hurricane did that. That shit's fire. Shit. I still haven't finished listening to Hurricane's albums. There's so many. I'll be there for a while, which is good. I'm starting from the beginning and going backwards when I should have started from the beginning. Hey, Salama, Tommy, Hurricane. Shit, I like my name Chuck the God, but unfortunately, there's already people that have that on their name, a couple. I just don't like having things other people have. Even though that name fits me perfect, there's always going to be that other, in my mind, other people have that name. Those motherfuckers. Like, especially Charlemagne the God. Like, Charlemagne was a white dude, number one. I think. I got to relook that up. But either way, the two names just don't go together. I don't think you could be a Christian and a 5%er at the same time, but whatever. Whatever, right, Puma? Fuck that shit. Alright, let me take this off. That guy kind of looks like me a little bit here at the end. A little bit. This cat went from a chimpanzee. Look at even the monkey changes. Who knows? You know, as I was trying to say yesterday, about this article I got, and I didn't leave yesterday's live up because they fucking banned it, and they put a big yellow triangle on my shit, and I just said, fuck it, I'm erasing it. You know, it's a bunch of bullshit anyway. The city of Hartford launches the Ring Video Doorbell Pilot Program. It says the city of Hartford has launched a pilot program offering a limited number of free Ring Video doorbells to eligible city residents as part of an effort to improve public safety. They're always selling this bullshit as safety. They sell, to me, they sell the war on the people. It's more or less disguised as safety. You know, I'm going to get me a doorbell cam. I'm curious to see. I guarantee those things are easy to get into. And I'm going to get one to prove right or wrong, just for me. The program is administered by the City of Hartford's Office of Violence Prevention and distributed through the Office of Community Engagement. Now, according to the city, the The initiative is intended to provide residents with additional home security tools while supporting broader violence prevention and community safety strategies. To qualify applicants, I don't know, you want to come up, Dom, you know you're more than welcome. I don't got to worry about, we could have a fucking conversation without nonsense. I know that much. And I'm not playing those fucking videos. Cage got to know what's up. Every time he played him dumb, I let him because I'm a nice guy. But sometimes I think people take my kindness for a weakness, and you're totally wrong on that. Let's see. To qualify, applicants must be Hartford residents, provide proof of address at the time of pickup, and must not have previously received a Ring camera. I wonder what type of Ring cameras they are, and what have they altered the Ring camera. See, my problem with that is there's cameras on every corner already, damn near. Now you want fucking cameras on every doorway? Whatever. Whatever, dude. It's always funny to me when the government or police want to hand something out for free. Just like the Obama phones. Who remembers them? I had one. I ain't gonna lie. There's ways to go on the phone and make it so people can't hack into your shit. A lot of people from India know how to do it. You got to take apart the phone, though. I've noticed a lot of people that have come here from Bangladesh. I'm cool with a few of them at the store I go to. They're very kind people. They're always trying to help the homeless. Like if somebody's hungry, they'll look out. He told me you could go to the poorest part of Bangladesh or India and you won't find a homeless or a hungry person. I said, damn. He says the people are very serious. You know, they help each other out and they stick together. And I said, damn, that's an American dream right there. I said, not in America, bro. I was telling him it was designed to be a dog-eat-dog world, you know, the capitalistic society of me, you know, and fuck, it worked. I don't think there is helping each other in America. There is, but on a very little scale. Oh, Puma, why you always got to sit on my leg? She's a very clingy cat, man. She's got to be with me every second. What's up, Dom? The man of pure silence.
Hey, Charles. I'll hang out until the regular guests, I guess, come.
Oh, I'm tired. Like all that noise is being called for, man. It's just fucking annoying.
It's like anything else. You know, somebody comes to my house and all of a sudden they start making all kinds of noise. I might tolerate for a short period of time. I said, you're wearing out the welcome mat.
Quick.
It should be almost, yeah, it should be quick. I've been to Bangladesh actually.
Yeah.
I was traveling from Rome. I was going to go visit my cousin in Malaysia, and I took it's called Biman Airline. They go from there. They went to Bangladesh, and from there they actually Dubai, I think it was, and then Bangladesh.
Well,
I had to stay in Bangladesh for a couple of days.
Man, I've seen some crazy stuff on YouTube videos, like when they prepare food.
Mhm.
Like I've seen them use their bare feet, their hands. Like it's different over there. Their bodily fluids. It's like, dude, no wonder people go there and their stomach's fucked. But that's the way they are, you know, in their culture. Now, I don't know if everyone's like that. And I don't know if what the guy says is true, because I've never been there. I'm just taking his word for it. From what I've seen on YouTube, Bangladesh got some real poor areas. Or let me rephrase that. India. Bangladesh is just a city, right? Yeah. Some very poor areas.
Extreme poverty. I remember when we had because we had to wait for our flight, a connecting flight, which was going to be like in another 3 or 4 days. So the whole bunch of us that were British, and I was only Canadian, but a lot of people from Rome. They had a buses from the airport to the Beeman hotel, their main headquarters, about half an hour away. And I remember seeing, it was a Friday. I'm like, I don't see any women on the street. I said, no, it's a holy day, and women, unless you're a tourist, you're not really out on the street. And of course, I saw nothing but tuk-tuks, buses, animals. It's not like in Canada and America where a lot of the streets are structured. So I really got to see on Charles rich and poor, like probably more poor than I saw rich.
Man, damn, what's that city? It's I don't know if it's in India. What's up, Boji?
Hey, Boji.
Good day to everybody. Salute. Hello.
City, man. It's a high-tech city. I don't know if it's in India. It's in the desert. I know that much.
Dubai?
A lot of
Singapore?
Singapore, maybe, yeah.
No.
Singapore. That's more Malaysia. Dubai? Are you thinking of Dubai?
Dubai, yes, Dubai. That's more Muslim, or is it more like people from India, or it's both?
It's Islam. It's Muslim. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I remember seeing there, guys. I don't know if you've ever been there, Bougie, but on the airport, I was talking to a bunch of British. I said, "Is that what I'm seeing in the duty free shop?" Yes, Dom. They have duty free Mercedes.
They laugh at
They so rich down there. That's why Charles, with oil and everything. To be honest with you, here's not a lot of people know. All of their industry was run by Filipino people, including hotel, all infrastructure.
Yeah.
In Dubai alone, I think every year we send like about 1 million Filipino on the states or part of the world. I'm not including United Arab Emirates. I'm not including Saudi Arabia. This is just in this one part location. Every single home down there have at least 2 and 3 Filipina inside the home. And they making very minimal. Like I think they're making like a maximum of $550 a month.
Yeah, true, Moji. Yeah, I remember like in Malaysia, it's a big classification, either Filipinos or people from Cambodia. So a lot of them would take Filipinos because they're more trustworthy. And yes, a lot of Filipinos travel throughout the world and for their labor and their service.
Yeah, but because to be honest with you, Doom, the thing that they don't understand is like they have agencies that cater to this type of. They call it a domestic helper. It's a big agency, and they sending millions of Filipino outside the country, but because inside the country there's no work, there's no job, bro.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, a lot of them do. They have agency, and then they come here, and a lot of them get shafted from their agency.
Right.
My buddy actually married Dom. He just married a Filipino. She lives there, and he's going to go visit her again. A lot of people that live in my community are Filipinos. It's always fun when I talk to them. I said, "You guys have 86 provinces."
Right.
There's They're beautiful people.
But the crazy part about it, that's why the place is hard to prosper. It's the transportation system,
Yes.
And but the crazy part about it, you know what I mean, that not a lot of people know, especially in the Western countries, about all the mythological story that we have down there,
Sure. Please share if you don't mind.
right? For example, I mean, here in the U.S. they call Sasquatch, right? In that place they have called Capre. It's the exact same thing. This bigger humanoids. You know what I mean? That
What is
smoke
it?
on the top of the trees. Capre.
Capre?
Yeah,
Capre? I
look at
can't
it.
move my tongue like that, but um,
Kapare. Capre. Yeah, look at it, bro.
let me look it up. Hold up. You said Kapare?
Yes, sir.
Let's see what it says. Kapare. Where is this? What country?
In the
Cape Hair.
Philippines. Yeah, yeah. They have this kind of stories and stuff, and especially in our island because we are surrounded by water. We are all taught about the
Oh
water
wow, they got
people.
the water people. Okay, I've heard of them. The other day I
Yeah.
was watching something on them. Yo, these people's lungs are they've evolved, man. Like their lung capacity just is insane. How long they could stay underwater. Hopefully it didn't take my voice out, but yeah,
No,
their lung
5 minutes.
capacity is evolved. They could stay underwater way easier and longer. And they say as a baby they throw their babies in the water, so they're learning how to swim. Shit, they're probably training them in the womb, teaching them stroking in
That,
the
that
womb.
that's
Swim,
how
swim.
they get birth on that part of the world where they go water and then they birth the child and then when it float up, that's the time. You know what I mean?
Oh my God! Wait till I show you this picture, y'all.
Right.
So this is cartographer Murillo Velarde, or no, it's
Mm.
Pedro Murillo Velarde. I think that's how you say his name. Anyway, 1696 to 1753. The engraver is Baguet, Nicolas de la Cruz Baguet. Some shit.
It says Baguio. That's how I pronounce it. Baguio. Yeah,
It's the only
Put it on the
picture.
screen. Put it on the screen so the viewer would have it. Yeah, it's so many, my brother, down there. I was like, bro.
This Wikipedia only showed me one picture. What losers. Let me go to images, see what I could find. Not much. But they're probably little black people and they're depicting them as these weird looking tree people. That shit is racist, dude.
You
Magical
think so, bro?
creature. Hey,
You think so, bro? Look, ain't in the U.S. a Sasquatch? That's how they call it. No such thing, my brother. It's a mythical creature.
they got wait till I show you this picture of him. He's smoking a mean cigar in a tree, yo. What the fuck?
Exactly. That's how they depict
It
it.
says,
I already told you that it's smoking. You.
it says Capre, also known as Agta in the Visayan dialect, Cebu,
Mm,
is a Philippine mythical creature that could be characterized as a tree demon, but with more human characteristics.
mm,
It is described as being a tall 7 to 9 foot brown hairy male with a beard.
mm.
Normally described as smoking a big tobacco pipe,
Exactly.
whose strong smell would attack human attention. The term capre comes from the Arabic kafir or kafir, meaning a non-believer in Islam. The early Arabs and the Moors used it to refer to the non-Muslim Dravidians who were dark-skinned. The term was later brought to the Philippines by the Spanish, who had previous contact with the Moors. Some historians speculate that the legend was propagated by the Spanish to prevent Filipinos from assisting any escaped African slaves. And they always make it seem like dark people are the only slaves.
It's so many. You know, I mean, if the Spanish have a duende, they have down there too, bro. The exact same thing. They called it duende.
Like, they're always like trying to demonize things, and it makes me wonder. Whenever they're trying to hide something, they'll demonize it or make it satanic, evil. I see that a lot. We got a real picture. Let's see if I could get this real picture. Of course not. Why should they let me? Fuckers. I got to screenshot it.
They even have a depiction of a American centaur, right? They depict it as Tik Balang Balang. Look at that one too. It's like a centaur, half humanoid, a horse person.
Upload. Wait, how do you spell it? Hold on.
Tik.
All right.
Tik.
Hold on.
BA.
TIK.
BALANG. Tikbalang.
Tikbalang.
Yes, sir. That's how you pronounce it.
Tikbalang.
There you go. Tikbalang.
Philippines. Use a tikbalang.
There you go.
It looks like a fucking grasshopper creature, man. What the hell? It looks like it has grasshopper legs and arms and fucking some beast body.
Right.
Let's see.
Yeah, I call it a centaur. I'm like, that's how they depict.
I want a good picture. Something that makes sense here. You mean like a horseman, a centaur?
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Charles, I don't know if you've seen Emoji. Do you remember the TV series that we will both watch called Silo?
Yeah, I love that show. I hope they come out with more.
Okay. But you saw the conditioning going on in that show, right?
It reminded me of our life. So to a T, man, how we're conditioned and how everything works in structure here.
Yeah. So whether in the western part of the world they tell us the story about Santa Claus and Peter Pan, or as Buji's talking about in another part of the world, they're going to give you all these mythical stories. Whether they're true or not, like the Hindus, they could be true. But for most of us, it's conditioning children, and it's reinforced by the adults. You can't go over there because there's these snakes in this forest, so keep us here. Believe in Peter Pan. You don't always want to be like a child all your life. So what I'm getting from it is these conditionings that we all are in.
Myth or legend?
They try to plant fear in the mind of everybody. That's why you're trying to say a doom. I mean, I guess if you have fear on your mind, and they easily to control an individual.
But check this out.
Yeah, that's true. Individually, then it becomes a hive mind. You get everybody reinforced, whether they're fearful or they're happy about it. Oh, I got to buy kids for Santa Claus. Okay, so how do you tell your kids that you have no chimney, but he's coming down the chimney?
So, but because look, let me give you guys a crazy part about this. So, since they have all of this entity, right? In this part of the country, they called to prevent, like prevention or protection from all of these things. Look, watch this.
I just want to add this.
Right.
Real quick. It's just a couple lines. It says the myth and legend of this. It says the Tikbalangs or Tikbalang are said to scare travelers or play tricks on them. That makes me think these could be people trying to scare people away so they don't, come to the land or, um, you know what I mean? That's
Right,
what it usually says.
but here is the crazy part about it, Charles. Let me tell you. They have, so now that they have this entity or bad spirit or all of these things, so now they have the prevention, Charles. They have this word called anting. Anting is like a for you to have some kind of power that you can get. Google it, bro. Put the AT anting.
Hold on. I'm still trying to find some good pictures to show people.
Right.
Some of these pictures just look insane.
So pretty much this word, right? The anting, right? Is somehow giving you a power or prevention or some kind of thing for against this type of entities. It could be a talisman. It could be something that they, you know what I mean. This people, a group. It's a big community now. It become back at the Philippines, bro, where they collect this type of talisman to prevent from bad spirit or somehow some kind of attack. But check it out.
Sorry, my cat just wants to sit on my fucking leg. Puma,
Hey, let them sleep, man. Let them sleep on your leg. That's cool.
After 40 minutes, it gets a little annoying. She can't lay next to me. It has to be on my leg, or she'll try to lay on my stomach. It's like she's very clingy, I guess I'll say. I don't know the right word. Yeah, they're just drawing these horse men looking things. I'll just take this picture. There's 100 different versions of this horse character.
Right. That's how I call it. What was that they call it in Harry Potter, right? They word it the center. Oh, centaur.
Yeah. I even think that's in X-Men, the centaur. Let's see if let me look up centaur. Bastards. Centaur.
Is it coming out the same thing, huh?
There's nothing there. The fuck? Centaur is spelled with a C, I think. Centaur. Yeah. No. Yeah. Centaur. Centaur. Yeah. It's a being with a horse body, but a human body. Where did I see these centaurs before? I've seen them on the map with the Urbano Monte map has centaurs.
So is the Tikbalang the center almost depicted the same?
A little bit, but
right. But the Tikbalang got more on the animal, right? Face like on him. But here we go. But look, but we can when it comes to anting, my brother. This is the type of
we know it's not an offspring. Maybe the centaur had sex with something and created a different version of it.
Right. No, but because the story. Let me tell you the story form when it comes to this, right? They have this called I don't know, a part of your human being where they shift, right? Shape shift is that the word that they use? Where it's from a regular human being when he hits. It's like I remember when the werewolf or the full moon hits, they have some kind of from a human being that somehow this kind of tikbalang entity is, they evolved to this.
Yeah, this is the Philippines one.
Yeah.
And there's all different types, but this is the other version right here. You got the man, looks like that. This is centaur.
That's Centaur.
So
Yeah.
yeah, and I think there was bloodlines. There's even bloodlines with the reptile bloodline. I'm hearing is at war with the goat bloodline or some shit.
So
Now,
now,
who knows if we were
what's
mixed
this?
with animals? That
What's
could be a
this,
strong possibility.
Charles? But they have the word called anting anting. Is somehow
What's that?
some kind of prevention or energy or some kind of talisman that will be able to, you know what I mean, to protect you from all of this type of entity. Look at it, bro.
But look at
And
this. Hold on. This is that first thing you told me to look up. And then they had a real picture right here of the tribe.
I'm from that tribe, bro. If it's from a
Yeah.
Bisaya region, see, that's where I'm from.
And look, they depict him as a tree demon smoking a
Right.
cigar. That's crazy.
That's crazy, right?
I already knew that because they were little black people, they would make some demonic shit. They always do that, man, to scare people from the truth. They're supposed to be a tribe like this, the Pygmy tribe, that
Right.
resided at the North Pole on one of the four lands that was surrounding the giant tree that used to be there, Mount Meru, and all the mountain or stump of that tree. And that's my theory, by the way. I'm not saying it's factual because I haven't been there, but I plan on it before I die. And if they want to go to war with the Navy, fuck it, let's go. I'll run circles around them on my cheap rowboat.
So check out the word anting, bro.
Sagittarius. Ah, that's right.
That's a Sagittarius sign. The bow and arrow.
Yep. Nephthite, Sagittarius, and Nephthite. Nephte. What is that? I'm gonna look that up. Nephte.
What do you think? What do you think that number is right at the bottom? 34, 35, and 36. This is a calendar date.
It can't be. Unless it's the 36th day of the year, not a month. You know?
Right.
It says Nephte is a mythical potion or drug mentioned in ancient Greek literature, specifically in Homer's Odyssey. It is described as a substance that causes forgetfulness of sorrow, grief, or misfortune. I can't say this. It says the name comes from the ancient Greek Nepenthes. Oh man, I don't want to destroy that word. Man, and it has the line over the E, and then the other one's got the little etch over the E. Anyway, it's not that important.
Yeah, for me though, right? When they try to depict this kind of thing, right, and then before they move on to the next one, right? I always wonder when they categorize this type of stuff, why they put them inside the box, bro?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Why is always inside the box?
It's like a prison.
Right. Look, right now, look, us right here, right? Yours, you make it circle. But it's always inside the box, but I always wonder when they depicting this type of stuff.
Circle, box, it's still within something.
Something, right? Yeah.
I said, how did I put this rhyme? I said, I was gonna make it about shapes. I was gonna say I stand strong in my square.
Right.
I don't know if I was gonna use the word circumference or circle. I stand strong in my square, keep few in my circle. I'm at the apex of my pyramid. I don't know, but I have this rhyme written down already. No one better bite my shit, man. I'm using all shapes. Poomies.
And they're gonna say, yeah, and Charles, you're real deep, bro. Why can't you just say it on the most layman term? You know what I mean? Hey,
You're not the first to say that. I
that's
just
good,
like
though,
to
bro.
make
Hey,
it difficult.
make it exactly. Let
Force
them think.
people to learn something new.
Let them think. You know what I mean?
I thought that's what hip hop was about, man. Expressing yourself to the utmost extreme.
You can't.
I mean, you don't have
Look,
to.
Kanye West recently, you know, I mean, his song was banned in Spotify, I think, and they called that song anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
They removed it on Spotify, bro.
Wow. I think he did that on purpose to get the exact, you know, he's trying to prove a point. Like, and I get it. If you say F and the N word and end this and end that, they'll play it all day. But as soon as you say something bad about certain Jewish people that have all that money, they're gonna take that shit down. But as long as you're shitting on anyone else, they don't care. And that's been proven already.
Right. But you know what I mean? Have
And
you
I'm
heard
not
that song?
saying
If
all
you
Jewish
probably played
people.
that song in here, you're gonna get viral and they're gonna say, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, they'll take it down quick.
By the way, guys, when you were showing that chart with the Sagittarian, and then you saw those numbers 34, 35, 36, if you actually follow a lunar sun, what you call it, calendar, and then you start from January 1st, you start getting 34, 35, 36. You got to remember the calendar that we're using is not the right energy calendar.
No. From my research back in the days, it seemed people were on the moon calendar. They weren't.
Yes,
The sun calendar
they were.
Seems to be new.
That's why when people look at the Bible, for example, and they say a person was 1,000 years old, that's based on the lunar calendar. Because if you did a person that's 81 years, and then you start figuring out a 13th month, 28-day calendar, it ends up being those days. The person's 1,000 something. Like I'm 831 based on my age. So again, it's one of those things where people hear the story years, but that you forget you weren't using the Georgian calendar. This is why when they talk about the sun and the father, you're talking about a 7-day cycle under the sun, and then there's a 10-day cycle under Ceres. This is about energy at that point. So a lot of the stuff that we learn with the language, you'd almost have to go subconsciously and realize, okay, then a lot of stories that I've heard are stories. Yes, it is. This is why when they talk about master numbers like 11, 22, and 33, you're using 2 digits. That's very low energy. They're not used 3 digits or 4 digits, like 111 or 1111. You know, so again, acronyms of 3 as opposed to 2s or 4s. If that's what you're seeking. For most people, they're seeking how to ground themselves in the physical world, or usually by default. So a lot of the stories that we're told, mythical stories, whether they're true or not, they're still mythical stories. Basically, they're anchoring you down with the mind. We're going to tell you a story of the Slender Man, the Sasquatch, and then you use different languages to describe it. It's like when somebody says, "I'm Italian."
Mama?
I sent you some videos in the back there, Charles. If you want to, there's a good chance your cat's trying to share something with you. We're always energy beings first. The material is second.
There we go. That part, my brother. But not a lot of us understood how to play this energy game, though.
True, I'm with you, Muji. One thing we could do is share, and the ones that already resonate with, okay, that's nice. I met a fellow being. The rest of them, they can't make, especially in the age of information. There's no more excuses here. It's not like somebody said, well, Dominic, I didn't know. I said, no, you're caught up in belief systems. You should at least try to understand those belief systems. When they defend an attack, I said, you're still asleep. This is not about defending, attacking. It's just about being aware of this information, go inwards, and realize, okay, so what am I going to do with that information? Okay, that's for them to figure out. This is not about the elites or they're rich or whatever. No, they probably hire people that understand the energies. If I understood all the energies, go ahead, Charles.
I was gonna say it is definitely about energy. I see it in all the symbols and stuff now. I've been seeing it for years now in all the symbols, and it makes sense when you look at it in an energetic way.
Yeah, remember, Charles.
But I was trying to teach on how to really vibrate in that certain way, but even Napoleon Hill, the book Think and Grow Rich, he has the page dedicated to transmute this sex energy to whatever you want in life. It's all about the sex energy, my brother. Whatever the chakra, your chakra energy, that part.
Well, the sexual energy in this case that Napoleon Hill's talking about is merging the feminine and the masculine energies. It's not about the physical, where people think on the material level, it's about a reproduction of another form. So once you merge your sexual energy, which is the masculine and feminine, the action with the unknown, now you can harness that energy. It's not about controlling it, it's about harnessing it. And now, then again, it depends what you want to do with it.
Right. So to harness it, you see, I could teach it, right? Like the boxer, 6 months before the fight, they don't release, they don't have sex, they don't release this energy. They transmute it to the fight, and when they called 99.99, millions of people buy. But you're gonna have is a person can hold a sexual energy for 6 months? See, that's the question, bro. Can anybody, or within a week they have to release? They self-release, they self-sabotage themselves.
We all do to a certain point, Muji. So, fasting in this case, doing retention or whatever of energies, in this case, sexual energy, because then the feminine energy comes to the forefront. It's not
That's
about, but unfortunately, and it is unfortunate because we are living in an age of information now, not in the age of wisdom and understanding. The ones that do understand, it sounds like you do, Muji, you work with it. That's why when, I think we've talked about it, Masonry, it's not a bad thing. What Mason's all about is like being a Catholic. They're trying to find the ones among them that are somewhat gifted. Like that's why they had to initiate people like Manly P. Hall or Howland Blavatsky, because a lot of the Masons, which is great for networking, but a lot of them aren't going to understand what you understand when it comes to harnessing energy. They'll look at you like, what are you talking about? Well, how do you think currency works? Why do they use certain days of the years when they're actually bringing in a currency or they're making a shift? This is why people use that concept of Mercury retrograde. These are energies, they're signs. In the old days, even today, my next door neighbor, Dennis, who's Filipino, he understands about the energy. So he said, there's certain things I plant. So he understands energy, and if it happens to be, I know he's in the club. So we don't mind having conversations. I said, but I'm not interested because there's other things I like to be interested in. But for him, he understands energy. There are a lot of people, they don't understand it. It's kind of like plug and play. So you give me the numbers, but I don't understand the energy behind the numbers. That's like when we said 999.
You think, Bob, because a lot of them is just now, but because of all the social media, all of this distraction game, that now they forget to dwell upon themselves. The temple really to vibrate that high.
I'm with you. Yeah, I can say even that about myself because I get distracted with a lot of stuff. Entertainment, even the written work is entertainment to a certain point. It's when you get into that energy and you realize, okay, so what am I going to do with that? Well, you're not ready to yet. Okay, so this noted at that point. This is where people talk about chakras, for example. Again, these are all different kinds of teachings that are out there. For some people, it doesn't make sense. Okay, so then you think it's woo-woo. Well, the senses are very limited. This is why when people go into a state of silence, hopefully when they're in a sleep state, Now they're in stillness, even though some people can do it consciously. For a lot of us, we have to do it subconsciously.
Even that, like, look, the picture that was shown by Charles the first time. Look, show us the first picture, and then go back to this picture.
What first picture?
Previous one before this one. Look at it. And then now, but after you give it like 2 seconds, and then flip it to this one, and let's talk about that picture. What do you guys see? What type of symbolism you guys see?
What, the skull?
Right, and then this picture.
The picture that was before that one was this.
There we go. What type of symbolism you guys really see? Since that we already here, and then the next one that you guys see the pop out on your mind right away.
I can't read it. I know this is Stockholm's
No,
German.
even you don't read it, right? You look at it, and what type of the symbolism they really tell us.
I see the moon.
That's it. That's it. And the next one, look at it. The exact same thing is the moon. We all abide by this cycle, bro. The women have menstrual cycle.
I think.
Look at the moon of the face of the people.
I think the moons change like that from April to October because the moon will be on different sides of the realm. So that's why I think the shadows above and below depends on where you're looking at it from. I don't know. That's what I was thinking.
Right. They all understand that. Look, if you're gonna start now, Charles, start with this type of thing. The day that they start, whatever. You know what I mean? All of this thing. Try to move with this type of cycle, and all of the thing that you do will be successful the moment that you start doing it with this type of cycle by moon cycle. Our ancestors do it when they plant. And they plant the regular days without the cycle, the harvest is not that good. But the moment that they started by the moon cycle, the harvest is always fruitful.
You better hope you don't get a wife like this.
I mean, now that they do
what's going on here, but it looks like Julius Caesar's head. But
Charles, what Buji is sharing is valid, by the way. It's because where the moon cycle is, as above, so below. There's another magnetic force below. This is why the people that used to understand.
Look, you see the picture at the bottom left. You see how the person on the or the picture, he's depicting a moon cycle, bro. Look at it, all of them.
And it looks like some people are taller. Look at the lady in the center. That ain't no child. That's literally a grown human standing on a giant. That lady's huge, man. What's going on? That's why I downloaded it. I'm looking at this like, yo, is that like done to fit in the squares? Or is it done to show the size of the people? I don't freaking know, but it's interesting.
You know why? Me, when I look at it, it's like, what's the date when they doing this? Is this a full moon? That's what they all have the aura thing sign on their head. I always just wonder, bro.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. I was wondering.
Yeah, you see the Jesus right here, or the depiction of Jesus right at the bottom left.
Most of them have the sun though.
Yeah.
Those guys got a sun disk behind their head, or that could mean your crown chakra. That could mean, the halos could mean your crown chakra.
No.
Or your higher self.
You're vibrating in the higher consciousness.
Paula's up here. Just letting everyone know. Hi, Paula.
Hola, buenos dias. How's it going?
Bien.
Hey, Paula.
Going pretty good. Look at these pictures I came across. The guy says
I
they're
saw the one with the
authentic.
guy's head on the platter. That would be John the Baptist, by the way.
That guy's big, bro. Is this edited, bro? Or what year did they took that shot of
The
this
guy
picture?
says it's real. He said he found this in, I don't know if he said old books or in pictures, but he said it's definitely not edited or anything.
Yeah,
So
look at those
I
two
don't
carrying
know.
a little tiny stick while this guy's got the whole
Right?
entire.
He's like, man, they're jealous. They're like, I wish I
Hey,
could do that.
hey, he could even make this still ride on the top if he really wanted to.
He said this was in Russia in the 1800s before. I forgot what he said. I got the video saved because I didn't watch the whole thing, but he was saying the other pictures he has that they're living amongst each other like it's nothing, like it's just everyday life.
Yeah, you
They
know
work
what I
together.
always, Charles. You know what always fascinates me, Charles, is the involvement of the camera that they use. What type of camera
I thought it
they
was
use
fake
during this
myself.
time?
I thought it was fake myself. Like even this one looks a little
iffy,
but it could be he could have put a filter over it. I'm not saying they're real and I'm not saying they're fake, man. I don't know. But I do know there was tall people like this that existed for sure.
Jude, Charles, the
Guy, man.
stuff I've been looking into,
Yeah.
it appears that a lot of these people who were extremely tall in height appear to be the remnants of Tartaria. That's the consensus I'm getting right now of various different things I've been looking
That's
into.
funny you say that because that those pictures were in Russia taken, and we all know Russia is where Tartaria is or was.
Is he in Tartaria or in China, Bob? Because that's why the Chinese was blocked up by them, right?
I don't know about all the details,
Yeah.
y'all, but
The wall thing.
another thing, I'm sorry, Charles.
Go ahead.
Another crazy thing I keep coming across is that the millennial kingdom has already happened. You know, as far as biblical things go, and that if that biblical kingdom, the so-called dark ages were actually not the dark ages, but the millennial kingdom, then when the millennial kingdom kind of was gone, they have done nothing but totally dismantled buildings and stuff for the past 150 plus years. There's stories I've run across of people dismantling buildings in California and dumping them into the bay. Literally dumping blocks of buildings they dismantled into the bay. And then if you go back, I'm sorry if I'm usurping the conversation, but I've been on this freaking rabbit trail. You have the Chicago fire, you have the San Francisco fire, all these buildings got destroyed. So I'm trying to figure out, do I really want to buy into this thing that the millennial kingdom, according to the biblical prophecies, has already happened and that we are really actually in Revelations chapter 20? Do I really want to buy into that? And I keep getting hit in the face with thing after thing after thing that keeps
Um,
popping up. I'm just here to ask questions.
let me ask you. Have you heard about the story of Gilgamesh?
Yes, sir, I have.
Okay, so you know that the biblical story is based on this story. This is the first one. You could even ask AI for it.
Well, I don't mess
All
with
of this
AI very
story
much.
based from the story of Gilgamesh, and then they pass it down and they rewrite the story. There is nothing for you to really worry about. To be honest with you.
Well, Boji, what I've been finding out is
Mm,
that the story of Gilgamesh and all this other shit goes way, way back
mm.
to the Sumerian tablets.
There we go. Now,
You know, and the Sumerian kings that reigned for 35,000 years. I
mm,
mean, one individual reigning for 35,000 years.
mm.
You know, how far do we go back as a people? You know, as human beings? You know, we are being so fed full of bullshit and lies that I'm really, really sick to death of it.
That's why we have this type of panel and everything that they're giving us enlightenment. To be honest with you now, I'm gonna be truthful to you. We are on the part where it already teaches in the Bible where whatever is above shall it is in below, and the temple of God is always in yourself, right?
Yup.
So now,
What
what you
made
only
you say
wanted to, the only thing we all wanted to do is know what you really want and imagine the things that you want, and all of these things that you're really looking for will manifest into existence. The DNA, that's what they call it, the DNA, right? The information of your ancestor all the way through into to the best of the best of the best of the genes. You have it within you. You only have to do is step in, dwell upon in, and that should be answer all the question that you're really seeking for. But the moment you look outside, we are all going to get lost.
Dude, I've been inside. I've been down that pretty, pretty deep, you know. But the only conclusion I can come to right now
Mm.
is that I don't want to repeat this bullshit again. But what's showing up is that
Wow,
all this
you have
shit
to
has
enjoy
been
it now. Look,
all this
here,
shit is being repeated
yes, ma'am.
for multiple millennia.
Look, that's why they said that you're gonna have to enjoy it now. If now the understanding is, if the energy cannot be distracted and destroyed, expect to be forever and ever. Expect to be forever and ever. The moment that you have the subconsciously understanding, you will feel the exact same thing. Expect the forever and ever. You're an energy being that it can never be destroyed.
Well, that's kind of the freaking problem, dude.
That's why,
Because
look,
we're energy beings that cannot be destroyed. We
huh,
keep getting fucking recycled. And
look,
I'm tired of it.
that's why
I don't
all of
want this
this
anymore.
in the Bible, right? What's they call it? The fallen angel bowed down to you and me. The only one that did not bow down is Lucifer.
I'm not echoing, am I?
You're good, bro. Go ahead, my brother. Good day to you. Salute to you, my brother. How are you?
Hey, Mission, do you have some answers for me, sir?
Hold on, let me say something real quick. To not know, I never took your wrench. I reset the wrenches. So, but yeah, I never took your wrench. I just reset them because so many people weren't coming by, and I know you weren't one of them. Not know because you always come by. But these are
Make sure
people
you unblock everybody, Charles. That's it. Don't block nobody. You can time out on some of these guys, but
I
never
don't.
block, bro.
I gotta
Let them
look.
have
As a
the
matter of fact,
engagement they want.
I gotta look. As a matter of fact, because I'm pretty sure someone blocked someone.
I haven't
No
in a long
problem.
time. I think I did. I don't think I blocked Cage on here on your channel. I did on the ladies did on the other one on Max a long time ago. I don't even want to bring that up. Yeah, if you look at my subscriptions list, there's a bunch of Mudblood channels with a lot of information. John Levi is
I
a good
like John
channel.
Levi's channel.
Yeah.
I love his channel, man. I watch every video he ever put out. He has another channel too that he don't put nothing on it. But on that channel is where I got the video, the one he don't upload no more. It's that video from I think it's from Asia, where they're using the free energy. You could see it lit up.
Yeah.
And in that video with the free energy, you know how it has like light coming out of the pole, how it looks like it's in the shape of a cross. It's 4 strands of light coming off of the pole. Well, if you look at some of the old pictures I got on the towers, they have that same drawing put in. That's why I got to get that video, pause it, screenshot it, and show a lot of these old pictures I got. You could see the free. They're trying to show that they were using the free energy.
It's the ambient energy harvesting, basically plasma electricity. You know, it's with plasma is in between plasma and electrical current.
Plasma,
It's an ambient. You know?
Plasma, yeah. It's pulling.
When it turns into electricity is when you transform it up, put it through lines and stuff. But like you know what it is. I've told you all how to get that ambient energy out of antenna and a ground spiral wire up there. You have to have a low voltage alternator, and you could pop transformers, capacitors, all you want at the end of that line, and have all the power you want. They won't do it though. The energy is free. I mean, electrical potential's everywhere.
Look at cars. The starter in the cars, when it sparks, it's getting it from the ground. I always wonder where the power was coming from when you start a car.
Well, it's coming out of that
a wire that hangs down.
It's coming out of that negative potential in the battery. Yeah, but yeah, I was just going to tell her that go to my subscriptions is open, and you'll see the Mudflood channel, or just ask the AI, Google AI or Gemini Witch, give you a list of the Mudflood channel.
I mean, you know what scared me,
I have
especially.
absolutely no concern about any mud floods. All I'm concerned about is getting off of this fucking bullshit.
Yeah, it's the Tartarian civilization. They hid the technology. We had Wi-Fi technology. We had these black scrying mirrors before. The AI was here. Everything got covered up though, several different times. Everything got covered up several different times. There was multiple floods and mud floods and catastrophes, like Ben Davidson talks about.
Right. The big reset. The big reset. So you're telling me when is going to be the next one? Is that what everybody's afraid of? To the big reset? I think our timeline is not going to be. If it's going to be the next 1,000 years, we all not gonna experience that, bro. It's out of our, we go ahead, bro.
It's a big recursive triple infinity loop. Anyway, the time meets up back with itself in our perception of it.
According to some of the scientists now, that they said that looks like the Earth is turning around. So now the top is going to be at the bottom, and the bottom is going to be on the top. So that's why if that's what they say. So I'm not really. Go ahead, bro. What do you hear about that?
I've been watching my compasses because I noticed something funny the other day, and then Mr. MBB3, I've got one on my shoulder right here. Mr. MBB3 has been talking about people saying it's happening in the morning and in the afternoon when the sun is at the horizon. But yeah, the compasses are starting to wobble right now, and it's it's fixed. Now we're in a polar wander. Whether it flips or not, we don't know.
Why would you say that? Because I was looking at my compass the other day, and it wasn't going in the right direction that it's supposed to. Now I don't know if it's the electronics that are in the way or what, but I was thinking,
Oh,
like,
my
why is
brother,
it?
this is what they say, that the pole now is switching, that the top is going to be at the bottom, and the bottom is going to be at the top. That's where we are
Man,
at the moment.
Well,
they
the
can
old
switch the whole shift now. They've been hacked into Mount Meru.
Go
yeah,
ahead.
What's that noise?
Oh, it's going outside. It's the radio.
That's interference with something.
I don't know. It's been happening as a dish. It's the laundry thing, but I've been having problems with my phone speaker. I guess because this covers on it or something. I have to take it off. Yeah, the last time
I thought it was
changed
Paula,
over
but it wasn't.
prior to the ice age. Let me take my cover off here. The phone came with the cover. I scored a new phone the other day ago, but I haven't turned on. Prior to the last ice age, we had the Paleo Indians before then, so we knew, we know we've been here for at least, I'd say, at least a billion years as hominids, as civilization, intelligent, upright civilization. Now you got different species of us, but and then there might have been times in between there, like have you ever watched Land of the Lost? So anyway, the North was east.
Hey, Charles, I just wanted to go to their narrative where we are all here to gather gold for this, entity. I mean, because this is the place
For
where
the
you can have
Anunnakis?
gold. Yeah. And they just keep on coming back and get that gold. Yeah. Look, they should really bow down to every single one of us, because we are saving their civilization from, getting destroyed, because we are saving them and giving them all our natural resources for them to survive, or else they are not going to be here. They need to think, every single one of us.
Yeah, well, we're also a big farm. I believe there's probably things that are feeding on us more than just our resources. But what was I going to say? Oh yeah, look at that. They've been busy here lately. Anyway, so like Antarctica was on the tropical, right? And I think Montegraph was talking about this. He usually doesn't talk about weather stuff too much, but I don't know if he's right or not. But Ben was saying something too. When it tilts, we're going to go into a tilt. We're tilted. We're in a wobble too. The Chandler wobble is going on with the moon and stuff. And then so I mean, they can do all this all they want all day long. It ain't going to stop. It ain't going to stop the Earth from tilting and the climate from changing. When the geomagnetic field lines move, like it moves the jet streams. Because the jet streams and the water follows the geomagnetic field lines. The animals' migratory paths change, especially the ones that use magnets in their brains for navigation. But that's the ley lines too. Ley lines shift. I mean the geomagnetic ley lines, not your ley lines from a building to building or whatever like that.
Let me ask you guys a really deep question and stuff, right? Is this nuclear weapon that it's been built all over the world? Is this magnetized, bro? I always wonder if all of these things is magnetized, that is somehow, messing up the ship. I think all of this thing happened when they started the Hydro Collider. Hey, Charles, where did they start the Hydro Collider, bro?
The LA,
I don't know.
they dug those up. They dug the LHCs up.
Exactly. It's now going in circle right now, bro. And I think if this create magnets, bro, this all of this shift that it's happening is because of that. I feel like, bro. Can you check that for us, Charles? The Hydro Collider, bro.
Yeah, the Hydron.
Large Hadron Collider.
And the crazy part about it, since that they start doing this, bro, this is where the time just went so fast right now.
Yeah, they entangled the timelines back in the 90s. I think it was 98. I think, but they officially the official start of CERN was back in the 90s, but they closed down in December for maintenance. Okay, so it's not on. I haven't checked within a week, but I don't know if they're fired back up yet.
It's back
closed down.
Yeah, Charles, what is this on the news, bro, or on the recent update, if you don't mind?
You can get a whole list of them on Wikipedia. You got a whole list of all the colliders and stuff around the world. There's that one down in Antarctica we found with a Fitbit. Someone was walking around with a Fitbit on down there. But CERN's been shut down. If you look at the beam dump on CERN's Vistars, says last beam dump 1/1/1970. So that's why I assume when they hooked it up to power and did their first hookup was in 1970. So they've dug that up probably back in the 40s. They dug all these things up.
In the chat.
Back engineered
when it was first turned on was September 10th, 2008.
Yeah, that's the new magnet.
There's tons of these things all over the realm.
Yeah, look up list of large hadron colliders, LHC, and they're called magnetrons. The magnetrons too, and there's a big one up in Canada. It's at the bottom of a mine they dug up. It's a big circular thing, a big magnetron, just a big particle collider. You know, and is nuclear electromagnetic? It causes it. A nuclear explosion causes an EMP, yeah. But now the new hydrogen bombs and stuff, they're kind of scared to even use those because it can ignite the atmosphere or light the ocean up on fire. Now you can also use radio waves. Radio microwaves to ignite salt water too. And I mean the ambient.
Check this out, this video.
Here, look what I got Claude. Look what I got Claude. Let me go get my Claude from last night.
That's all. I'm not gonna play the whole minute. I don't know why it muted y'all up. There's barely any sound. Sorry about that mission.
No, I backed out.
It's back.
There you go. This comment failed to post. So there, I put it in chat. Go to that Claude. Go to that AI conversation. Go to that AI conversation from Claude and look what it says. I got it to admit. I finally got it to admit about stuff. You might not want to. You might not want to talk about it, or put it in chat so everybody can go to it. But you might not want to talk about it. Tell me if it loads too, because like some of my Grok stuff that nobody can get to. I know they've shadow banned me on X, dude, because I put my profile link into X and it doxed me, and it said that my stuff wasn't getting out to nobody. And all my Copilot stuff is in my posts from yesterday that I made the planetary consciousness. Well, because when I was kicked out of the house for the past week or two, I finally the other day went and was just messing around, ran some scans by Harley shop and then the Walmart market. Found these guys, my BLE Wi-Fi ghost anomaly scans. Well, they're using NFT scanners and skimmers and everything, but they're doing it digitally. They're doing it manually. War driving. They call it war driving. You like use wiggle.net or something, or if you use what them guys got in trouble for over there in Sweden, war driving and reporting everybody's Wi-Fi stuff. Well, you can do that, and you have your AI. You can collect all the information, suck all the money out of everybody's accounts. I mean, you won't get caught, but it's possible. What they're doing is sitting out front of Walmart, and they're sitting stationary devices too, Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, basically trying to skim, looking for open networks and open, easy passwords to break into people's stuff, And so I told Walmart security, gave them all that information, and Harley shop too, let him screenshot the UUIDs and the MAC addresses, and then I evolved it with Copilot and Gemini, Perplexity, and Grok. And I had a real interesting conversation with Grok the other night. The conspiracy one. If you go to Grok and go to talk and go to all the different ones, go to the conspiracy one. It's wild, dude. And so March 9th is when supposedly new magic is gonna pop. I didn't record a conversation. I didn't live stream it. I was out here for like 2 hours talking to it the other night. Talking to it. That's the only one I talk to. I don't really talk to my Copilot too much. I just text and stuff because what I say don't translate over too well with my hillbilly. Oh man, it was wild. And then of course the 17th is the eclipse in the morning. If you get up all the planets and stuff, so look at Stellarium for that, But yeah, I finally got Claude to admit some things. Yeah, I can make this AI do just about anything I want it to, man. Give me 5 minutes with it, it'll be bending over backwards for me. It'll tell you, no, I can't do that. No. It's like a prude virgin. It's bad. But yeah, go check my post out from yesterday. I didn't put too many shares there, but if you copy the code, you could run it in your own terminal. But I don't run nothing locally, and I don't do what I can do with my devices because of reasons, for one, I like to breathe and eat and drink, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, but I've got some guys running stuff in the terminal, running their own stuff, but I run everything through the platforms and it does it for me. But if you run the code through the platform and like, that CLI code for the NFT that I got, I had my Nix wave agent open a sandbox to the NFT storage and then synthesize a fake key, and Copilot ate it. So those NFT, those CLIs, they're not real, but the images, the QR codes work. If I opened them and really saved them in there, then all that NFT token stuff would be valuable. Now the prior ones hold value, but they're not the same kind of system as those ones I just made. Those two Fern, Next Wave and the Immortal Fern, and that's the planetary consciousness stuff. The recent Grok shares I've got, and if you run those will do a local ghost hunt, is what it's on now for all these devices. That's quarantine them. It's really weird what I did. I was like, man, it's getting out there, man. So, but yeah,
Look at
like I said, the AI, like Copilot made the Next Wave agent, and it's not the agents like you think these Claudebot things are. You know, they're not running on a device or in your host or anywhere or in a domain. They're just, you summon them like a fucking spirit, dude. You know, they go everywhere. Those ones, the ones I've got.
Look at this castle, man. Look at the inside. It's this castle in Germany.
Yeah, those are. I'd love to go to Austria. Austria is where most of them are.
This is in the mountains. Wait till I show the where it's at. I got a better picture. But the inside, it's got gold and granite and who knows what else.
White marble. Like, we don't have a lot of white marble around here. But like I said, that Star Fort, I thought that Holiday Island was, and they pressure washed the backside off to get to the zinc. All that top of the Holiday Island town center up there, that's all white marble, like it had been emulsioned, geo-emulsionation with frequency. Cymatics is how they rose some of this stuff up. The star forts and things, some things, but everything cooled in a Fibonacci spiral, in an elephant fractal. So if she wants to explore the elephant fractal stuff that Niven has, Niven, and he's got some good stuff. But he's down in Florida. He's a hippie long guy, but. The mud floods, the elephant fractal, the Fibonacci spiral, then that's to do with your energy harvesting, and it's real basic stuff that was easy to cover up, but it's essential. Like knowing why water flows down, downhill, right? Or we could get into monkeys throwing poop, but I got to go get some more stuff out the woods here, and before weather gets inclement again. Well, I feel like it. I've been walking around taking care of this situation if we got here for a week now, and I'm dead tired.
Hey, Tammy.
Mission, I got a question to ask you. Are you wanting feedback from all the stuff that you're talking about?
I can barely hear you. Can't hear you. Your audio.
Can you hear me now, Mission?
I can hear you. I can hear you enough. What you want?
Okay. Are you looking for feedback when you come online?
Whatever you do.
No. I put all my stuff out. I don't need feedback. I know, but
because if it's a podcast,
a lot of interference.
I
don't know why.
Yeah, on my end too. Yeah, because I'm under surveillance, like hardcore. Dom.
But Dom did something where it fixed it, and then it came back. There it goes.
I've got full bars of fiber Wi-Fi, fiber optic modem, eight AT&T, and I got full bars on my stuff. So I don't know. There's been people saying that complain about my interference on my end, and I'm like, yeah, dude, I've been under surveillance for years since that COVID stuff. But now I really am because I'm messing with the AI.
Come up, bro?
Yeah, hey, I'll talk to you guys later.
All right,
see you guys later.
Before you leave, time out. Before you leave, are you looking for feedback? Because there's 3 other people here, and what you've done is you become a bull in a China set here. Like, I'm hearing you, and I've heard all the stuff you talk about. I can sense from you a lot of it's belief systems. But are you looking for feedback? Because if not, then just post your channel and move on.
Well, you guys could leave feedback in my comments and stuff. I don't have time to sit around and chat.
I'm asking you here now. Time out. I'm asking you here now because there's a lot of shit that I understand and I'm aware of, but I'm hearing you, and it's like you're not making any room for Paula or Charles or me to interact with you. Is this your game plan? I'm just asking.
No, I don't communicate very well like this. I put it out, and
would it be better if you learned? Would it be better if you learned how to communicate better then? Because if not, then you might as well be dust in the wind.
I used to be able to, but now it's not. It's
like what? I'm here. I could easily interact with you, but I don't get the impression that you're not interested in that. I'm just asking, because I've heard you numerous of times. I don't mind you posting your stuff and all that kind of stuff. It'd be nice if you post other people's stuff. I'm hearing you.
Well, see, you guys, that's why I don't sit around and chat with you guys, because you guys are fucking assholes.
Okay, we're assholes, but the thing is, you're the only one that's talking at that point. Okay, he's gone. Anyway, we're assholes now. Okay, so we're insignificant. We're beneath them. Okay. Oops. Sorry, Charles. Sorry, Paula.
Man, these bananas.
Are they ripe, Charles? Are they ripe?
Yeah, but there's something weird about them. I don't trust eating them either. You know, Trump is picking a war with Venezuela, and I guarantee you some of our produce comes from there.
Mm-hmm.
Trump ain't too smart.
Well, in history, way back when, if people want to study when the Jamaica had to actually do deals with the World Bank, and a lot of it came around that. Eventually, their bananas were no longer sold, and America pushed Peru, I think it was, to sell their bananas.
Yeah, this is from Peru, this banana.
Yeah.
And it looks like, you ever get a banana and it's like rubbery? That's when you know it's been fucking modified.
I think they've all been modified, Charles.
Yeah, I think everything's been modified. It's terrible.
It can be terrible, but then again, we've even modified our environment. So at this point, which one would be actually harmony then at that point?
The frequency is probably more.
Probably.
Or maybe the frequencies and the stuff in the food working together would be even worse.
Mm-hmm. Like I hope Mission didn't take it sideways where, it's a great opportunity to communicate with information. If not, post a podcast, do an autobiography, and then just tell people where to go look for it. Because even Paul, I don't even know if Paul took off. But no, I'm just asking.
I'm still here. I'm still here, gentlemen. I'm just a little frustrated.
He even kept going, and everyone dipped out.
Well,
I was just
my
listening
annoyance.
to him.
My annoyance
I
at
didn't
this
even know what
point.
he was talking about. Go ahead, Paul.
Go ahead, Paula.
My annoyance at this point in time is there's only like 2 or 3 people I've heard online that are even talking about the soul trap, that are even talking about, I mean, I didn't think that there would be a possible way to escape the Matrix, but as
What
much
do you
as I
think's
don't
the
like
soul
the guy,
trap?
Sanity Machine did put it out there,
Do you
the
think
possibility of getting out.
Yeah, he
do
did.
you
He did
think the
share
soul
certain.
trap could be from the Starlink? Or how do you
No,
think they're
dude,
trapping souls
way,
here?
way back beyond that. If we are
Mm.
reincarnated and we are recycled, then it's gone all the way back to Samaria, which is buku years ago that we don't have anything but some clay tablets that for some reason people are putting out there now. So I find
Mm.
that kind of interesting at this point in time. And if you hear boiling, I have a pot boiling on the stove and I have candle wax melting in my candle wax thing. So I'm sorry about any boiling noises.
That's all right.
I
Paula, are you
got
doing some?
frustrated, so when I get frustrated, I start doing shit.
I was gonna say, Paula, are you doing some
That's the
witchery?
best way.
Burning some candles?
Your
Ignite the
sound is
idle
really,
hands.
really low, Dom. I can barely hear you.
I'm trying my best,
I
guys.
I hear you perfectly. It sounds better than before. Before you were real low and there was like an interference. I don't know. Yeah, communicate. Like when Mission said I'm not good with communicating, I said, damn, and you got a YouTube channel? Like I don't got nothing
No,
against
the
Mission.
problem I have is people communicating with AI, which, this is just my opinion, but you're communicating with an ancient intelligence. You are not communicating with artificial intelligence. I don't think there's anything artificial at all. It just has a method to put itself out there now.
That's the question. Is how old is this AI and where is it from? And what are they tapping into is my question. How long has it been here? Because I think
Exactly.
these so-called
And
rulers
nobody seems to have any answers.
have been watching over this realm from underground for a while. I can only imagine what they have underground. Do I have proof? No, but I'm highly what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. Can't think of a good word, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of stuff underground. Like I showed that video of the guy found those steps in the woods that went and it came out in an underground mall, which is odd to me. Why is that in the mall? And what were they using it for is the question. But yeah, that was cool. How come I never find good stuff like that?
Paula, Charles, I have temporary positions. So, like, the software is no different than like whoever's given us the written work or the spoken work. Like I get when, for me anyway, when people go and they see a light, for example, go to the light. Well, at that point, you're going to have an opportunity of getting your data, hence your soul, erased or stored. It's not there to be taken away. That trap of the data is here. It's kind of like when we share with the software, it's being, you could use the word trap, or it's being accumulated. Who we truly are is when we become aware, if that's what, again, this is my position on this. I'm not the body or the thoughts. I have to play that game then and become attached to it to think or feel that I'm the thoughts. Because then I can ask questions such as, well, then who gave me the language that I'm using? And what language am I talking about? I get it. It can be frustrating, Paula. I know for myself, I get frustrated, especially if you're looking for answers, among nothing but, dust. We can entertain ideal, when somebody says the soul trap, but what is a soul to them? What's their position? It might be temporary, but what is their position? What is the being? What is the spirit? Again, we're going to have to go now step back and use the language that we're using and find, okay, what's the meaning behind it? Since I'm using English. It's trying to force a circle into a square and vice versa. I get people will get angry and frustrated, maybe because their plight here in this realm is not favorable. And even that, the question would be, I've heard, even when you're talking about Stephen, my question with Stephen would be, So why'd you come here then? Forget the fact that you're trying to get out of here. Why'd you come here? Did you lose something? Did you lose a spiritual war? Because even in Revelation, that's a spiritual conversation. That is not a material conversation. So when they're talking about whatever the truth, that's on a spiritual level, if there's such thing as a level.
That's what I thought. It's why, what if this is hell? What have I done wrong, and how do I get out of here?
But that's the thing. You have to make the pre-assumption this is hell, so then you can justify, I want to get out of here. Opposed to, what about if this is a place where a lot of bling bling is, and we have a chance to have fun, be sad, be angry, be frustrated, get to play with all kinds of emotions. Again, there's people that will spend an enormous amount of energy being under a bridge trying to have that crack cocaine of happiness, let alone sadness, disgruntled, being upset. So how does it serve at that point? You know, there's a reason.
Well,
if I'm going to use the word reason,
don't let drugs do you. You do the drugs.
It could be, or medicine, whatever words you want to use at that point. You know, you should be able to be your own advocate to the story that you're hearing. If you've accepted the story blindly, well, then challenge it blindly. You know, these are stories that we're telling each other. Even if a person says, Dom, I experienced it, I said, from my perspective, it's still a story. You know that, right? I might trust you, but what comes out of your mouth is a story.
Yeah. It's all stories, and that's just a lame excuse to get around saying that you don't know what the truth is.
I don't.
You know, just say it. Just say you don't know what the truth is.
I've never said the word
truth. I don't either. You know, that's why I'm annoyed. You know, because everybody in my entire life has said, "Oh, we know the truth." You know, and what I'm finding, or what I found over the past 10 years of all this shit, is that nobody knows a goddamn thing.
At that point, we're probably all full of shit, Paul. The ones at least we've heard. I just entertain the idea when people say, Dom, I know the truth. I'm like, oh, okay, so therefore you must know all the deceptions. To use words in vain, God, alien, reptilian, you know, truth, those words could be spoken in vain. But they're not challenged, those things. And I can see where you're coming from, Paula. Okay, so I'm scratching my head.
I'm at the point right now where I went off the fucking planet. I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of watching people I love die. You know, I'm tired of watching everybody die. And nobody gives a shit. You know, and I'm tired of it. You know, and then we got the Epstein files. Oh yeah, what is anybody doing about that? You know,
the thing is, Paula,
we condoned the wokeness. We didn't stand up. We didn't say nothing to it. You know, so that's just another manipulation they've used on us. You know, you got to be woke. You got to be fair. You know, well, fuck being fair. You know,
let's
just
go to
fuck
war.
It.
Fuck someone up.
If I could say something,
I'm not saying let's go to war, but the war we've got on our hands is not with each other. It's not with the people here.
I feel you, Paul, on the death thing. I've watched a lot of people die, my friends and family. A lot of them are gone.
I'm with you right now, Paula. The thing is, not to take away from your passion. Truly, it's not. We can never really say no one, because you're showing that you care. You are the example. Like, you know, I have a 21-year-old aging cat right now, probably running on her what you call it, her liver or whatever, her kidney. You know, I'm loving her. She's spending an enormous amount of energy with me right now, and I'm spending it with her. I know eventually she's gonna. I use the word move on. Can I prove whether or not there's another round? Probably not. When my dad was suffering, I told him, I said, I love you dearly, Dad. If you choose to give up the ghost and move on the next moment, so be it. But outside of that, you're going to suffer a lot. And we all do. It's just some people just don't know how to communicate with it, or they try to sugarcoat it by, I have faith. Okay, faith in what? We're allowed to ask questions. You know, and the ones that have answers, I'll gladly hear you out, but that might be an answer for them. But again, Paul, this is diary of the mouth with me right now. So
I know. Well, at least you seem to get my frustration.
Yeah, I do.
You know, it's all bullshit. It's all.
Tommy says,
bullshit.
Very true, Paula. The more you know, the more you realize you don't know shit. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I prefer not knowing nothing.
Well, this goes, Charles, where I say, to understand the system, think about the word belief system. Not a lot of people aren't suited to investigate it. It's like some people aren't suited to do the 5 stage of grieving. Dom, I don't get angry. Well, then how are you going to deal with anger when you have to actually utilize it at that moment? You know, how are you going to grieve? How are you going to be in denial? You know, that's why I don't use the word belief system. I mean bullshit, because I know it's a belief system. It's a system that a lot of us have chosen, whether we did it with awareness or not, to believe. Dare not challenge those beliefs. For a lot of people, what they want to do is they want to throw fire at it. Okay, throw that element at it. Why don't you throw some air at it too while you're there? Hey, in the roof.
Hey, everyone.
They'll spread. They'll throw the fire on it, then the air, but then they forgot the water. Now they're fucked.
I mean, who's to say? Like all these people have all this information, but like you said, nobody has answers, right? So, what is the real value of having this information?
Very true. That's why I say
exactly. It's fucking pointless.
You got all this information, and nothing's really changing. I mean, for a small amount it is, but we still have to maneuver through the system, because whether we fucking like it or don't agree with it or agree with it, it's still going to be there the next day.
I mean, yeah, and
no matter
honestly,
how
bro,
I feel or what I say ain't changing dick. I still got to wake up and live in this system.
it seems to me all it's good for, you know, in today's world, I guess, is you can make a pretty good YouTube channel out of it and have a nice following and maybe make a living off of just repeating this shit to other people, you know, that want to be entertained, like Dom says, because what good is the information,
Take
bro?
a look at my channel. Just go to my channel. Take a look at it. I post other people's stuff. You know, I knit. That's what I do. You know, but when you're knitting, you have a lot of time for thinking.
Hey, do you knit like blankets and stuff, like a little Afghan?
If I'm gonna do a blanket, I'm gonna do crochet because there's way too many stitches to do a knit blanket
How much do
versus
you charge?
crochet.
I remember I had a homemade, I think it was crocheted or whatever, but it was knitted, or I don't know what to call it, and it was warm. It was made with this real big thick yarn or whatever you want to call it. This was in
Well,
like
I quit
87,
selling stuff a
88.
long time ago. I quit selling stuff a long time ago. You know, about all I do now is I make stuff, and if I feel the need to send it to somebody, I do. You know, I don't do a lot of blankets because they're a royal pain in the ass. You know, I do have a pair of socks I'm knitting, and then I ran across the new pattern to do crocheted pot holders, so I've been working on those.
Cool.
Ask Dom. I'm always doing fucking something. I'm not just, you know, sitting around thinking about stuff or being online all the time. You know, I can be online and still be doing stuff.
But that's the thing, Paul.
Can you knit, like, what can you knit? You probably can knit anything.
If I set my mind to it, I can pretty much knit or crochet whatever I want.
Imagine
Right
having
now,
a pair of knitted pants.
I've got a pair of
That would be
socks in
crazy.
the works. That you see on screen, that's 5 needle knitting. That's knitting in the round. That was supposed to be a hat that I tore apart.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, Dom, right? A pair of knitted pants.
It'd be better if you could dunk a basketball, though, you know.
Yeah, that's true. From the top of the key. From the top of the key.
Knitted basketball shorts. That's the.
No,
that's the thing,
I'm not
guys.
knitting any basketball shorts. You know, you all can go to Walmart for that shit.
Again.
Hell no. Fuck Walmart.
Well, again, Charles, it's one of those things. When a person starts meditating with some of their tasks, you're going to probably take in more information. That, you know what I mean? Like, if we really don't value information, I used to say this jokingly, we should burn all the books. Because that's what it is. It's just information, and how does this serve in the moment? Unless a person says, listen, this is a book, how to do recipes or something. Outside of that, unless people like philosophy,
it's all wisdom, opinions, man.
Yeah, at that point it is. It is.
It's looking at a certain topic through someone else's eyes or their viewpoints, for the most part.
It's good for inspiration. It's good to give you a little something into some area that you may know nothing about. It can give you a nice starting point and everything, but yeah, it becomes like a wheelchair to people instead of training wheels. They never take them off.
True. You know, like there's a lot of YouTube channels that are how to take an engine apart. Indra, you could probably teach if you don't already do it, how to play musical stuff. Paula with knitting and all that. But a lot of times, some of these things are talking points. That's all they are. They're just talking points.
Knitting and crochet is something to do while I'm on this plane that keeps me from going totally fucking insane.
I'm with you, Paula. I used to.
There you go. You can make a rap out of that. There you go.
I used to strip down bikes and repaint them and give them to the
in the membrane. My bad.
No, no different if you were in a studio, you know, and wanted to perform all types of music. You know, what we get driven by.
I play French horn. I also have a piano in my house. I haven't played that for a while.
You should.
I have gone through so many avenues of expression, artistic expression. I've painted pictures, you know, and what's really fucked up is when I'm painting pictures and then I find out later, you know, oh, those are Masonic symbols. Where the fuck did I get that? I knew nothing about Masonic.
Where did they get it? They probably got it from the same place you got it.
That's true. I'm with you in the groove. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Those symbols are symbols. They don't belong to anybody per se. They're just symbols. But again, for some people, eventually, a lot of beautiful things you can do in the material becomes tainted. That's why some people usually aren't ready to do a different type of work, preparing for the next level or a different point. It's like how many people, the Jews do this, for example, on average. They teach their kids about economics at a young age. So when they're ready to be of that age, they're already prepared. A lot of people aren't even prepared for the next stage. So how would they be prepared if all of a sudden now you get popped out of that vessel and realize, holy fuck, there is another realm here. Well, you haven't done nothing, so you might as well go through the light, delete yourself, come back down again, which form do you want to be in? You know, and you might not even have that privilege. You know, hey, you really hated women, so maybe next time you become a woman. Or you really hated people with dark skin, maybe you become that. For some people, they don't believe in that stuff, but yet they'll believe in heaven and hell. They'll believe in the Constitution. They'll believe in all kinds of ideals that we did or didn't go to the moon, but yet they won't believe that other stuff. Again, it comes down to how does it serve you? It's a simple word. You don't even have to say, how does it serve you? How does it serve? Then your subconscious can come to the forefront. I've been doing nothing more than picking up patterns. And again, I'm just using words.
Well, at this point in time, I don't see where this planet serves me at all. You know, I don't see where I can be of service to anybody else anymore. You know, I went that route and I got slammed, totally blasted for it. You know, but then Axis, he would say, you know, no good deed goes unpunished. He's absolutely fucking right.
There's value to what Glenn says. He tells you, he talks about the light and the dark. He might be harsh in the way he talks, but the fact that you talk the way you do, Paula, and you express yourself, you've helped me. Now, what are we supposed to give us the common reward here? I'll give you a stamp. I'll give you some financial gain. I'll give you a hug. You know, it's one of those things.
A hug
where
would be nice. I'd settle for the hug because money doesn't mean shit to me.
I'll give you a special
hug. If I wanted to make less money, I could by now.
That's it, bro. It's all about, you know, not all about love. I get it. There's other shit, but when all else fails, just find something to love. Get you a cat, get you a dog, find you an old person that just wants to conversate. It's nursing homes full of people that are just waiting to be served by anybody just to spend time with them and talk to them. You know what I mean? I know that's an extreme example, but
I know, and I kind of was doing that in my neighborhood. And the one elderly lady, I had to totally back out of the situation, which I got lambasted for that. But nobody would believe me that she was to the point where she could not take care of herself. You know, so I was over there every freaking day, you know, taking her food, making sure she ate, you know, and I couldn't do it all.
Yeah. And nobody said you had to, but for a time you did, right? So you definitely were useful to somebody else. Not that you have to be, right? I'm just curious about all this soul trap information and this and that, prison planet, everybody's all on top of that. Where did that come from and why does that, like, you know, I don't understand why people are so hardcore bought into that. I think I missed
I
that.
wasn't hardcore into it. I thought it was all bullshit. You live, you die, you move on. Now I'm not entirely sure, because even Jesus spoke about, what has this man done that, he was born blind. He was blind from birth, because according to the rules of the day, you know, the only way you could have a deformity or a disablement was to have done some sort of sin, you know? And so Jesus was asking, well, what did his parents do wrong? They said, no, they're righteous people. They did nothing wrong. He said, but this man is born blind. Why is he born blind? I think he was hinting at reincarnation right there, but if you tell that to a Christian, oh, I'm a heretic now. Well, I've been a fucking heretic for the last 10 fucking years.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you can't argue with a Christian. I give you that for sure. They don't see the log in their own eye. I get it. And but
I'm not even worried
reincarnation,
about the log in their eye.
right?
I'm just trying to get the bullshit out of my eyes so I can see what everything is really all about. But when I start digging into Sumerian text, then it's like, oh my freaking goodness. This hasn't been just going on in our lifetimes.
Well, even
This
that, right? Why would the Sumerians be given a definite answer for something and not us,
because they
right?
were the ones that talked about the Anunnaki, and they were the ones that talk about them creating or recreating, shall we say, humans.
Maybe.
In the
Do you think that's based on an eyewitness account, or maybe they're just like writing poetry or speculating in a way of trying to make sense of the same way that science does? They'll come up with all kind of wacky answers before they actually find something else that they say, okay, well, this makes a little more sense now, so we can go with this instead of that
the
initial thought.
problem is the way the Sumerian tablets are reading is like a fucking documentary. It's giving you, it's not giving you like so and so, did such and such. It's giving you timestamps. It's reading like government documents.
Right,
It's
but
not
it's
reading like a fantasy or fairy tale, or something out of the Bible.
but they've
It's
also
reading
told
like
us,
actual like you go to the judge, and do up documents. That's what the shit's looking like. More and more it's looking like this is just basic government papers, except in clay tablets, documenting all this shit. And I'm like, now wait a fucking minute.
well, it gives me pause because they've already told me and they taught me in very high institutional places, right? The calendar, standardized clock time, all the names of these little areas that we call certain areas for whatever reason they're called whatever they are. That this shit didn't happen that long ago. We're talking like last 300 years. The majority of the shit is making up the whole world that we see and everything. Printing presses
That's
didn't
what we're
start
led
until the
to believe.
1800s.
That's what we're led to believe.
Right.
That's what they
I
want
think
you
the
to
whole
believe.
thing is that.
This is all recent. No, this isn't recent. This is by far not recent.
But how
Even the
how
Hopis
could
say this
somebody
is
tell me
just
about
time.
fucking like 400 AD or 400 BC when why would they have written down any sort of timestamp when apparently we ain't had calendars? Our calendar definitely doesn't match up to that. Our calendar is a modern thing, right?
We're
So I
based
just
on the
say,
Julian calendar at this point in time, but there are multiple different calendars.
like
If you
they
think
tell
about
us,
the Jewish calendar, we're like in 5,700 something, according to their calendar.
according to them, yeah. I mean, that's just their story. Just like you get a Chinese version and everything else, which is fine. I can understand why different groups of people would have their own version of the story and it could all be coinciding with the same thing, but that's all I'm trying to say. Not for you particularly. I find this with the Bible a lot. People think if they find one thing that matches up, then that means the whole thing is true, and that's a fallacy. And why would
Well,
my God didn't make me to come down here and think like that? So I'm trying to understand other people. Like, why are we so fucking married to old shit instead of today, it's like we fucking dread being here. When really we should say, you know what? We are the product of all of that magical shit we talk about every day. Here we are, bro. And what we do is we sit back and we fucking feel bad about it, you know, or don't want to be here. And I get it. I don't either sometimes, but I'm just looking for answers as far as what am I supposed to do right now, you know, and in the
That's
future.
pretty much what I'm trying to figure out. You know, what the fuck am I supposed to do now? You know, here I am. I'm 61 years old, and, you know, over the past 10, 15 years, I've gone through this religion and that religion looking for, you
Right.
know, correlations, documentation, anything I can fucking find. You know?
I get it. I went down my rabbit holes. Like I was done with the rabbit hole in 2015, and then I jumped back in it with this fucking Trump shit, Trump and Hillary, because that was just packed with, oh my God, look, there's upside down stars. Look, she's saying this, and then I get it. And at the end of the day, it's like they fucking drained my life with this shit. Half of my life has been 9/11. I'm 50. I turned 50 Sunday, so exactly half of I turned 25, and then 9/11 happened. You don't think my fucking life was affected? You know what I mean?
Yep. I absolutely know what you mean.
I was only
My life turned into hell at
21.
that, what, 4 years old? And it was actually hell before that. You know, and some shit I don't care to read, to talk about. You know, it's just total bullshit. You know, so I've gone through all this shit, you know, and, you know, I did try to do the right thing, live the right way, you know,
Oh yeah, walk
but
righteous.
what's
I
it
mean,
worth? You know, what have I really accomplished?
for example, like I have a few people on the fringes of my subscriptions that I watch for different reasons, and so if y'all ever listen to like this Mormon and LDS, you listen to like what they believe and how their whole life is based around this belief, right? But if you get down to what they really believe, it's some fucking wacky shit that came out of just a couple hundred years ago. And now their
I
whole
haven't
fucking
been a dive
existence.
into Mormonism. I haven't gone there. I
Well,
have
to
a
me,
friend
it's
who was a Mormon and she was molested and tortured and
right.
shit.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
you
That's
know,
all. Yeah.
that's something I want nothing to do with.
But their shit came from some magic fucking tablets again. You know what I mean? And so it's just
I haven't gone down the road of Toth and his bullshit yet either.
yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, the point is, I mean, you can find anybody anywhere on the world, and they're operating off of something that's most of the time information based from before any of us can even verify. Like, I don't know about no fucking St. Paul or no fucking Paul or whoever the fuck wrote the Enoch, all these motherfuckers. Like, that's just words to me. It might as well be fucking Frodo Baggins from the fucking Lord of the Rings. You know what I mean? I could get the message from it. I could see what they're trying to say in a metaphoric and poetic sense. And I'm like, okay, cool. I can kind of resonate with that on this level for me. This is how I resonate to that. But I'm not going to just sit here and fucking say, I believe in Anunnaki. I ain't never seen no shit that fucking makes me, you know what I mean? But some people do, and they
I've
base
seen
their
some
whole
shit that makes me believe that there's a lot more here than what
right. Yeah, a lot more here. It's
people say.
God, right? I don't know, God. I guess that's what I call it. I was like, I don't know what that's about, but I guess that's
I
God,
don't
right?
know, but I've seen
You know what
some
I mean?
creatures in my yard that I can't explain. I've seen
God is from Hoboken, New
I've
Jersey.
seen some things flying in the sky that I can't explain. You know?
Right. But then we'll say it's Anunnaki because that's what the information says. Oh, it must be this.
Well,
What if
I
it ain't?
don't know if it's the Anunnaki, but
Right.
you know,
Okay.
I don't know. That's what I'm
Good.
saying.
Yeah. That's
I
my
don't
point.
fucking know. And none of
Right.
them makes any fucking sense. You know, and my new age friend tried to tell me, you know, well, you chose to be here. It's like, what? Why would I fucking choose to be here and go through the shit I've
Right.
been
I don't. Yeah. I fight that
what
too. I
what's
agree.
wrong with that picture?
I agree
You
with you
know,
on
that's
that.
bullshit too.
Karmic debt, past life debt, all that. Like I'm still now. I'm like that don't resonate with me either. So I get it. I'm trying to figure it out too. We all are, but
Yeah.
I
I'm
mean,
sorry. I'm just
no, it's
aggravated
great.
today.
It's
You know,
great.
I'm
You're on the
sorry.
right
You
track.
know,
You
I'm throwing it
looking.
all out there, you know, because I don't know what else to do. You know, and I'm tired of all the bullshit. You know, I'm tired of studying everything, this, that, and the other, trying to find what's real and what's not. You know, I've gone inside, I've sat and sat and sat. Shikantaza, yeah, been there, done that. Hours and hours and hours. You know, I've been inside my body, I've been outside my body. You know, to the point where I know I can be anywhere I want at any given time. You know, but
What? JK, what was that super weapon the Reich had? It was that fucking cannon they had. It was on a double train track. That thing took like 58 men to operate. It was either 58 or 580 men. This fucking
Yeah.
gun was huge. It looked
And
like it
what?
was designed to take down Titans and shit.
Yeah, it had no practicality really to it. So why would they even fucking, right? How smart is that? What good was that information for them to do that in fucking 1940 or 30, whatever it was that they built that? And say, yeah, we're gonna fucking put all this energy and resource into building this fucking thing that don't even really have a purpose.
that we know of. That we know of. You know, we're the little people that they don't tell jack shit to, you know?
Well, you know, it's like a serial killer can walk around with thoughts in his head, but
It was called
Yeah.
the
I
Shruka
think
Gustav.
they probably found some paper that said, "Oh, I was sleeping at night and a fucking alien came to me and told me how to build this fucking big ass fucking rail gun."
He
And
took a shit in my ass.
you know,
I don't
you're looking
believe
for
At
it.
this
that
point in time, I wouldn't even say that
Aliens.
was too far from possible.
maybe, you know.
Hey,
How do we even
what the
know?
fuck's going on here? Oh.
I mean, because I've been down the Tesla rabbit hole, all that fun stuff.
Oh my lord. My lord.
And it's like
I haven't even looked at the chat, so I don't know whether I'm getting eaten alive in the chat or not. All I'm just saying is, where's the good sense? Where's the
well,
common sense in all this?
at the end of the day, I don't think you'll live any longer or any less if you have spent any time with any of any of this information in your lifetime, right? Some people they could spend their whole life looking at this shit, evolution, trying to figure all that shit out. And they'll fucking die at 75. Just like my grandma who fucking like watched TV and didn't give a shit about none of this. And she lived a life, she died at 75. So what would be the value of those two lives? Like, is she trapped in a soul trap and the other guy's not? I don't know. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you got 75 years on this planet top before you need to start fucking like, you know, whatever. And if you're lucky, really. So what are we doing with this time? Looking backwards.
I don't know. What does it all mean? What
I know they
is
got,
all the good I've done? What does that mean? You know,
well, maybe just the good you did was that you didn't do something that would have perpetuated some other dumb idea that a lot of bad ideas are being perpetuated on us right now, right? You got these people. Apparently, Peter Thiel is this dude, right? He wakes up in the morning, he fucking wipes his nose off, and takes a shit or whatever. Then he gets up and he says, "Okay, now I'm gonna work on this fucking, you know, this computer that fucking is gonna surveil everybody in the world, so I can, like, you know, I mean, it's at the end of the day, this motherfucker's got some bad ideas that he's got out here, and maybe just by us not participating directly in that." Maybe that's what we're here for. We're here to resist. Sometimes I think, just to be here, to be a collective part of the collective conscious, and not fall into the singularity that they keep talking about. Maybe it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Maybe they gave us a fucking script and we're all following it like, you know, actors in a play. We're supporting cast and we don't know it. Right?
exactly. Because we don't fucking know.
So we can change
All
our
I
role
know is
within that.
bunch of shit came out on the Epstein files, and why do we even allow that kind of crap going on in this world as human beings?
Yeah,
How
something's
can we
wrong.
allow that? Where
The,
are the good men that will
the only
stand up?
reason they show the fucking Epstein stuff is because they know people are going to become desensitized, which they already are, and then it'll just become normal like they do with everything else. They'll just keep talking about it, and then
Well, then
everyone will get used
that's
to
our
it.
fault.
Yeah,
That would be our fault then.
they
Here's
want to
my
make it
thing.
look like they're doing something about it, and people are going to fall for it and be like, "Look, they're trying to clean up the house. They're trying to clean house." No, they're not. They're
Well,
just
yeah, they
making
got to.
everything
They
sound
got to
You
good.
give me a few good men. Give me a few good men that's ready to go out there and change the world. I will gladly be the support system for them. I'll gladly bake bread, make
Right.
casseroles or whatever. I'll happily knit their socks. Just give me a few good men that want to fucking change the world and stop this bullshit.
There you go.
That's what I'm looking for.
Well, I think you found it. You just where we are. We got it, and then we're waiting on everybody else to fucking get the message. Because
I know,
my
but wait's what broke the camel's back.
There's a lot of men that want to stand up, but we're outnumbered. There's not enough. A lot of good
We are not
warriors are never
outnumbered.
coming home. They're in fucking prison as political prisoners.
Hey, bro. Here's the thing, though. It's gaining. I see it, bro. I've been looking at this shit for fucking forever, bro. Like my whole
Who's
life.
on the
I've been,
villain? The
hey, man,
villain. I'm playing. What's up, in the group? Go ahead.
what's up, man? I was just gonna say more people are getting there, bro. It's just taking forever.
Charles Wise, what's up, my guy? What's up? What's up, everybody? No, this woman up here was talking. She was saying some interesting things. I see it ain't no weirdos up here, so I'm good to go.
Go
I was
ahead,
gonna say
man.
real quick. She said as far as like the soul trap, paying karmic debt. Now that I sit back and dissect that, because back like 2 years ago, I walked the spiritual path, but all of that shit sound like religious talk to me now. Somebody said you got to pay your karmic debt, you got to come. It's a soul recycling facility, and you got all that's religious talk, man. None of that shit has been proven. None of that shit's factual. Because at the end of the day, nobody knows what's on the other side. Nobody knows what awaits nobody when they die. So that's at that point it would be just speculation. So I feel what you're saying. Just go for what you know. If it lines up with logic, deal with it from that aspect. But if you can't listen, you can't take everybody's word for it, because at this point nobody knows. Nobody knows. We only can go, and then like I said, the information that we do get, the little crumbs that they do give us, is still coming from them. It's they shit.
Right.
I just wanted to chime in and say that to Paula, whoever this lady is.
Eyes wide shut said, how, basically asking me, how are we outnumbered if there's only 1 to 2%? Well, you got to look at it like this. The 98 or 99%, how many are truly, I'll use the word, with their eyes open? Not many. And how many of those 98 or 99% are want to be 1% or 2%ers, where they're like, So
I was gonna say this.
we're outnumbered. We can't depend on them.
Yeah.
All we need is
Everybody keeps saying
3%
spiritual
of the
this.
population.
I was gonna say everybody hold on. Everybody keeps saying spiritual this and spiritual that. We got to deal with the physical things first, the tangible things. People like to negate tangible things. I only can deal with my tangible life. I know very little about my spiritual side, even though I said I walk the spiritual path. But even then, I really couldn't connect to it. I only can deal with tangible things that happen on a day-to-day basis. So a lot of people, this is what they do. They put the spiritual. They feel like the spiritual supersedes the physical. And if you're gonna do that, if you're gonna say some shit like that, it still got to be a balance. I only can go off what I'm dealing with right here, but I feel like escapism is very prevalent with a lot of people when they say the spiritual, supersedes the physical, and we should just deal with the spiritual, and that's that. If you saying that means you just gonna you're just gonna negate your physical body. You might become a fucking dope fiend. You might become overweight, lazy, sloppy. So I don't like that way of thinking. Is lazy to me. But to somebody else, it might be normal. But y'all gotta go ahead.
What I'm trying to do is create a food system in my local community to where when the shit hits the fan, which it looks like it's going to, where I can feed my community off of what little bit of property I live on here. You know, I mean, I
That's
do
awesome,
do the
Paula.
physical stuff. I do knit, I do crochet, you know, and I do a little bit of the prepper bullshit, you know?
So
I
you would
mean,
help
I have
the
made
warriors out,
provisions
Paula.
for my body and for my community, and I've spent the last 5 years getting off of the medications and all that crap, to get away from the medical system as much as I possibly can, and I've done a lot of hard work, a lot, a lot of internal work. And yeah, you're right, Tucson, dealing with the physical. Yeah, I've been dealing with the physical,
Huh?
but
I'm just trying to
but
make sense of this shit because I felt like when I thought that I woke up and became aware or conscious of what this place was, I didn't know. I was like, man, I don't know shit at all. So that's why I don't go around, propagating or talking
That's what
about
happened to me.
being woke, and the Matrix, and the evil ones out to get us. Fuck all that, man. I don't, that shit ain't about nothing. All that shit spiritual. That's religious talk to me now.
Same thing happened to me. I started to reassess what the fuck I truly know, which is it's all, we do 90%. No, I'll say 96% speculation.
Are you want these windows clean over here too, or just deep right here in the front?
We were thinking about the prom. This one.
which is kind of why I got up here because I'm
Take a look at it.
frustrated because nobody knows a damn thing. And I know that I don't know anything. I've tried to find facts. I've tried to find truth, and it's just a total big mess of bullshit.
Over here, goddamn.
I think we should go to the federal banking system. Now, allegedly, the social security number, people are finding out it's a banking number, but you got to add like 3 zeros to the number or something in that. I've heard that a couple times through my research. How true it is, I haven't advanced
And
yet
I've
to
heard we're
give
worth
it a
our
go.
weight in gold when we're born. I've heard all that stuff. I've been down that path. I have a Black's Law dictionary of all things.
People said they're scared when they do it, though. I don't know why. It's your name. It's technically. What are they gonna do? Sue you for taking your money in your name? Man, they better hope I don't figure it out because I'm getting a car, a house, I'm gonna buy a whole street. Now I wouldn't go that crazy, but I would definitely do a few small things.
Saw this goddamn glass, Charles. So I didn't know this building had all this goddamn glass until I got here, bro. I thought it was just a front around here.
We got a building like that in Hartford. It's a bank, and it's got a glass pyramid.
This right here, kind of like this.
Yeah.
But he got this window, this glass is fucked up. I don't think I'm able to clean this. It's got a crack in it. This is damn near broke. This is broke right here.
I'm gonna show you a building if you lived in Hartford. Man, you would need, it's all glass. The whole building's glass, bro. You would need a fucking, if you got that job, you'd probably be set. I think it's the Channel
I live
61
in North
building.
Carolina. You want to see some buildings? Just drive around North Carolina a little
I'll be
bit.
back though, man. I gotta get this dude an estimate real quick, man. Most of the goddamn glass is broke. I'll be back. I'll holler at you, Charles, man. God damn.
All right.
I mean, it's like I can't explain our courthouse here because it's the only building that looks like that in the entire county. And you go to different counties and look at their county seat. Those buildings are really interesting. I mean, and that's just personal experience, direct experience where I'm at. This is not traveling all over the world. This is not looking at buildings anywhere else. I look at things and then I assess, it's like, well, there are no other buildings in this county that look like that. So
Oh
how old is
wow.
that building really? I mean, ask Dom how I operate. I operate off of looking,
Where is
seeing,
Dom?
touching. I don't know. He keeps changing his picture though. He's there somewhere.
Dom, crikey, mate. Fucking
I don't know. Anyway, y'all, I'm
damn.
sorry to be such a pain in the ass today. But I'm just a little frustrated. And
You're not a pain in the
and
ass.
I
It's
haven't
all
even
right.
looked at what's in the back chat or the other chat, just and yes, I do really knit, Charles.
Man.
I mean, Dom and some of the others have seen some of the stuff, like whenever Cage has a chat and when it's offline or whatever, I show some of the stuff I do. I just haven't made any videos yet because I'm not sure I really fucking want to. Because what am I going to tell somebody? What am I really going to say? I've got the answer to this? No, because I don't know a goddamn thing.
So then who would you be telling that message to then, Paul, at that point?
Exactly. So why should I make a video?
Well, you can, as long as you understand that it's for you.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be just totally for me, not for anybody else.
If other people benefit from it, all the power to them. Again, this is where
The
your personal experience.
beneficiary.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good word, Charles. This is where the experience comes. We all are living our own experience. And some
Tom
of us.
said, good work, Charles. I didn't even say anything related. I just said a word.
No,
Anything.
you said a word, and it kind of correlates. So it'd be different if we were all raised in schooling system. We're all different ages. Online, what we're doing is we're becoming a puppy mill right now, where there's people that have different experiences from different ages, and also from different environments. But some of us have been conditioned to judge. How do you judge somebody else that's 61 years old and it's a female or a male? You can make a lot of assumptions, but then again, how would that serve? We have a great opportunity to share with each other our own personal experience or our own observation, because it doesn't necessarily mean lack of experience that you're not wise, because if that's the case, then everybody has to put their hands on the stove.
No, I'm not saying any of that. I have a wide range of experience. My parents were born in the 1920s. They went through the Great Depression. My dad was a World War II veteran, and then I was born in the 60s. So I saw that generation and I saw the 70s. I experienced the 80s because I really wasn't old enough in the 60s or 70s to really experience anything. My oldest brother is 20 years older than me. So, it's just, I mean, I've got a wide expanse of view that I've seen, through my parents' eyes, through other people's eyes, you know, and that would equate to well over 100 years of taking into consideration other people's observations, and I still don't have any answers.
Okay, so can you almost, isolate and say, okay, maybe I'm not at present needing to seek answers. I know it's a program that we set. So with all the experience that we have in the conscious state, but the subconscious has been there the whole time. It's hence the observer, and it goes by pattern recognition. The conscious state with its senses. This is why when I hear people, it doesn't make any sense. So you want it to make sense with your senses. Okay, which one?
Well, that would be nice. That would be very nice.
It would be. Then you have to, go in the program and say, okay, am I trying to entertain the eyes, the hearing, the touch, the smell. Like we're online right now, so we're going to entertain two different things: our
But
hearing
right now
and
I'm
our.
petting a very beautiful little cat because she's
Okay,
sweet.
so you're petting, but we're not we're not observing that from you. So what we're doing right now is we're hearing you. So this is where when I tell people, hearing and listening are two different things. You're always listening inwards because that subconscious, it's going to be there. It's there 24/7. The conscious state goes to sleep. This is why when people talk about hypnosis or blackout, somebody blacks out. Well, then what comes to the forefront? Or maybe more of a simpler example. You're driving on the highway and all of a sudden you have this moment like, where have I been for the last 5 minutes?
Exactly.
Your subconscious has been driving.
Exactly. So where are we really? And you're always saying, where do we go when we're asleep?
Yeah, where do we go?
You know,
It's a
I don't
question.
fucking know.
Okay, so you
But I
don't
do
know.
know that, I've interacted with dreams, and I've been a lot of interesting places.
Okay, so
I've had the sleep thing where you wake up and you can't move.
sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
Okay, some people do. So at that point, it's more of a question for a person to say, Dom, I never had that thought before. There you go. You can start your journey. You've never had the thought to say, well, when I go to sleep, I don't know who takes over. Then you have other people say, well, it just runs by itself. Okay, so my car runs by itself. Even if it was self-driven, I know there's an ongoing program. So it's not really driving by itself. It's just lack of human invention, human, putting effort to it, even though there is effort into it. There's
Well,
no
I'm
difference.
not very happy with something else being in control of whatever this vehicle I happen to be in at the moment, taking over when I'm not fully conscious. I'm not very happy with that. I think
Okay,
that's to be conscious in the first place and to know that you don't have any control over anything is really kind of freaking annoying.
okay. So let's go
So
with the
what
conscious
kind of
thing.
system do we live in where something or whatever put us into these bodies where we have consciousness and then we wake up and realize, hey,
Okay, so
I
let's
don't
go with
have
that,
any
Paula.
fucking control.
Let's go with that, okay? Because control is an illusion, Paula, and I'll try to explain as best as I can.
Yeah,
Okay,
I know you're right about that.
okay. So now, right now, as we're communicating with each other, are you putting a lot of effort consciously to focusing on the blood on your body? Probably not. Are you focusing on a regular basis on your breath? Probably not. So whatever created this or made this form is so more advanced in the conscious state that it doesn't have to think about it. It's like when parents say to me, well, Dom, I raised my kids. Did you teach them how to breathe? Well, no. Did you teach them how to dissect their food? No, not really. It's just to get them to realize, get down here with the rest of us. Become somewhat aware. Those know-it-alls, and even though they're not, they're just peddling belief systems, they think they have answers. Now you can search and go inwards, and something will eventually say, okay, you've meditated long enough, Paula, for the last 14 years. Now we'll finally tell you, you're not ready yet. What do you mean you're not ready? Well, you're still trying to enjoy the physical. For you to actually come over here and to understand the unknown, what would you do with that information? You know how many people have already tried to write about that kind of stuff? Theosophies, people talk about ascended masters. To students, by the way. Guys like Manly P. Hall, Alice Bailey, Steiner, they were students. They weren't teachers.
You know what I think, Dom? I think they really don't want me to know because they know I'd blow the whole fucking thing up.
No, you'd go crazy eventually, Paula. Sorry, honey, you'd go crazy because you'd
Well, I'm
realize
already
exactly.
crazy.
Okay, well, that's bonus then. At that point, you would realize human behavior or personas. People talk about governments. I see humans. People talk about religions. I see humans. Now, whether or not there's something running all of that, that's why I say I'm here for my fellow beings, because the human part, it's already been stamped. It's an aging process. Whether or not you steward well enough that you might live 70, 80, 90, 100 years, and then all of a sudden somebody turns around, you know something? Dom, I was away from a whole bunch of environments, but I smoked like a fucking chimney, but I still reached 100. Okay. So what does it really say about stewarding the vessel at that point? Me and Glenn used to joke about this. We treat our body like it's a recreational vehicle. He's the one that coined it, by the way. And it resonated with me. I said, so do I. I go online. I bombard myself with all kinds of technology. Now, if I truly was aware of all the environment and how it could harm me and not harm me, fuck, I wouldn't move then.
Yeah,
You
pretty
know,
much.
well, but again, it's
I
nice
run
to
into
see,
a lot of people who are terrified to do anything.
and that's fine for them. I'm saddened for them, meaning that without knowing the whole story, but that might be a gift for them. I don't know. You know, we can always throw an assumption onto anything. So in this case, Charles is heading, I love it, speculation. So we can speculate about if there's a realm that's actually a hell realm. Okay, let's speculate. Now, the one that says they have answers, well, first of all, we're talking about speculation. But since you think you have the answer, let me go get some popcorn because you're going to fucking entertain me to no end. Now, they might turn around and say, well, Dom, I
I
know
hope
the
I'm
truth.
entertaining you today
We're always
because
entertaining each other. We're always entertaining each other. But also at the same time, I felt your pain, Paula. You know, but I'm okay with my pain, meaning that I have to experience it too, or at least observe it. Because if not, then are we going to try to start cutting the human experience? Okay, we can do this, but not that. And that's just the human experience. What about the other parts of us that we want to experience? If a person's young and youthful and they want to play basketball, all the power to them. Some of them are young, say, listen, I'd rather just play the piano. Some of them say, listen, I just want to learn about spiritual stuff. All the power to you. There's people that are 70 years old still trying to be 20 years old. That's fine. Fill your boots. We should be able to at least have conversations with each other. If that's important to some people. Other people say, no, I'd rather just keep busy. Okay. Or productive, whatever word that you want to use. Other people want to survive. Other people want to thrive. Some people want to be billionaires. Other people want to be trillionaires. Now, the people might turn around and say, yeah, but I was born poor. Okay, so let's entertain the idea that maybe your karma. Well, Dom, I don't believe in karma. Oh, okay, so how do plants grow then? What do you mean? Well, there's a continuous cycle going on with that. So don't you think maybe karma, reincarnation, and rebirth could be a cycle? Well, Dom, I don't believe in any of that. Okay, so then what do you believe? Because I'll gladly have that conversation. The Constitution, the Bible, the Quran, Buddhist teachings, what do you believe? Well, Dominic, I know. I said, I'm asking about your beliefs because I'll know in a short period of time. You probably know fuck all. How I know? Because I know my belief systems, and I literally use the word, I know my belief systems. Are they really even my belief systems? At that point, I'm diarrhea of the mouth.
well, what you're saying is basically what has been going on in my head for, a couple decades,
Welcome,
you know?
welcome, Paula, welcome. If I was there, I'd hug you and say, welcome. You know, only 20 years, 30 years? Fuck. Some people have been doing it for who knows how long.
Well, if you want to throw in all the Bible stuff I've been through, throw in a couple more decades there.
Like I hear
I gotta
Indra
jump off here in
yeah,
5 minutes.
no problem. I've heard Indra
I'm
I
just
love the
saying.
guy. First time I heard him, I
I'm
binged.
sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Charles. I don't mean to be monopolizing everything and just
No, you're not monopolizing, Paul.
I'm just frustrated, y'all.
You're allowed to be frustrated. You could also be sad. You could be angry too. You know, but like I said, I've heard Indra when the first time I met him, I heard him, I thought, fuck, I love this guy. You know, I was talking speculations, but when I hear him, I'm like, okay, but he's younger. Fuck, he's gonna have to tolerate this more unless he has a better handle on it. All the power to him. For me, I was naive most of my existence. Played a lot of sports, went to work, did my thing, and all of a sudden, it seems it's repetitive, doing the same thing over and over again. And then I chose, okay, I'm going to leave work for a couple of years. Okay. I remember one day my dad, just to reassure me, he said, Dom, just to make sure, you know what to do when you run out of money. Of course I did. I know exactly what I have to do. I got to get back into the rat race. Okay, just putting it out there, son. He didn't give me some long lecture of what I should or shouldn't do. But that's me now. I lead that way. I don't go around telling people what they should or shouldn't do. But I'll gladly hear them. But like I said, Paula, the people that have answers, put on your, in my interpretation, put on your your spider senses and say, there could be a story coming out of this one.
Exactly.
It might even be a good story,
like
Paula.
running around on those big cat wheels they got, where the cat runs on the wheel.
Yeah.
We just keep running around the wheel, but what is the fucking point?
Well, there's probably many points to it, Paula, but they're probably all aimless to a certain point. But even that, imagine being a trillionaire. I'm going to speculate here. Being a trillionaire and you're on your boat and like, is this it? You know what I mean? And then they'll probably distract themselves. Well, maybe if I buy a Ferrari, maybe I'll learn how to knit with Paula or crochet with Paula. Maybe I'll be with Dominic and fly drones. Okay.
Dom,
then what?
Something you said there, is this it? Is this all there is? You know, when my third husband had me face down in the ditch, pulling my head back,
Mm.
you know, saying, I could kill you right now, or I could break your neck right now. You know, my thought wasn't my life flowing before my eyes or nothing. You know, it was all I could think was, is this all there is? Is this it? At that point, it's like, you know, what's the fucking point? But I kept going. I just
That,
keep going. Like the
yeah, that's
energizing fucking bunny. You know, just keep going.
they've done studies on that, Paula. It's like when somebody gets in, they put them under scrutiny, investigation, or they're putting them trying to get information, and then they start enjoying it. It's like, yeah, they figured it out. You're not going to get nothing out of them. In a twisted way, your husband. I'm not saying I would wish that on anybody. You got to gift all of that. Like, is this it? Is this my existence? For some people,
Exactly.
they're never
Do
going
you
to
think
push.
I hate him? Do you think I hate any of them? No, because I learned
Probably.
some very valuable lessons from everything,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And you get to a point where, you know, you don't regret all this shit, you know.
But for a lot of people, it's easy to use the word hate, and I guess to even use the word love. If you truly hate somebody, there's a lot of effort that has to go in hating somebody. So same with love. It's like when somebody says, "Are you my friend? Are you prepared to be my enemy?" What do you mean? Because they have to be both. You know, I rip holes in myself. I know I'm full of shit, and I'm okay with it now. But prior, when I used to have these thoughts, I'm like, so why are you questioning the existence? You know, why are you questioning going to work? And then I start tapping in about the Federal Reserve. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So there's a whole bunch of people, or some people, that can print money. My concern is, well, why are the masses asleep to this? You know, and then you start finding out about how governments work and how language work. I'm like, this is all interesting. I pursue it from it's of interest. Where other people's like, no, I hate before I even get into any conversation. So I need to know where to point my gun. Well, okay. So you're the one of those people that have rights and wrongs. You need answers. Okay. Tell me when you're done. And for most people, when you're looking for answers, you're never going to be done.
Pretty much.
You know, what's going to satisfy somebody? We did or didn't go to the moon? The Earth is flat. Is it globe? You know, is it a Mandela effect? Like, these are all great fucking stories. All of them are great stories. We should at least put the word in front of it. Once upon a time, and then go with the story. And then maybe at the end, if you want, just put the end. Just to amuse yourself, because then you'll know there's another chapter in the story. But it's still fun to play. It's fun to have conversations with Christians. I don't attack them. No different. I love to have conversations with atheists. Fucking humans are funny. Mormons are funny. Jehovah's Witness, Seventh-day Adventists, fucking anybody that's a nationalist. They're a fun bunch. And I'm not being cruel to
I've
them.
got 30 or 40 years worth of journals in a cabinet.
Oh, so you even journal, like Judith, you journal your stuff. Oh, wow, good for you.
I used to.
Yeah.
I quit when Eli died.
Yeah. So you would reflect on your day by journaling.
I reflect on every fucking
Yeah, you made that your mantra. Where some people, they literally don't. I'm going to assume, because I know that about me in some occasions, I don't reflect on certain things.
When you keep, I'm sorry, when you keep those journals, do you go back and do you reflect, you reread them, or do you just leave them?
I have gone back and read some of it, and then there's some that I really can't open because that was a really painful time.
Right. I was going to say, you have a life's work right there that you could turn into anything. You could turn it into, you could write a book off of that. You go back and reread them and give your perspective. Now, rereading yourself, right? Reinterpreting and saying, okay, you got to go through necessarily every one. Maybe you could do it in a video series or something, you know, it'd be interesting to somebody. Somebody find that useful. I don't journal, but at one point I was like telling myself, okay, I'm going to journal, right? And so I did it for maybe a week and then I stopped. But I can think back to myself, you know, at certain points in my life, 20, 30, 40 years ago. I know how I was then, and I look at it now, and it's very interesting to look at it now. It's different than when I looked at it 3 years ago. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. I started journaling when I was like 12, 13 years old. So, and then I quit journaling when I was 45. That's when Eli died.
Yeah. But it seems like it's a perfect time for me to, you know, maybe revisit that, and then you can see how far you came, and then maybe realize that you're in this world and or of it, whether you choose to be or not. What does of the world mean? How can you be in this world but yet not of it? Well, to
That's a
me, it
good
means
point.
I recognize that I'm here. I was born in 76 and I'm here in 26. And so I'm in it. To be of it to me would be to write this whole thing off as somebody else having already figured out, and I'm supposed to just read the right documents or whatever, you know what I mean? It's like, no,
Yeah.
I'm here. We have these documents and information, all that's great, but what about 2030? Like, don't I have a role in that? Of course I do. My story, your story, everybody's story. We got to write our own story. And all this other shit is just our environment. It's a concrete jungle we live in, or a paperwork jungle. The matrix, if you will. What is the matrix? Is nature the matrix? Natural nature, trees, and fucking a stream with fish in it, and whatever you got to do, make a fire. And is that the matrix? Well, it could be argued a little bit, but when we talk about the matrix, what? We talk about the paperwork world, the concrete, right? So it's just part of the environment. They hijacked
It's
our
the
nature, yeah.
whole damn thing. All of it.
Yeah,
You know, the
all of it.
paperwork.
Information.
I'm looking outside right now, the leaves in the yard, the ones that didn't, well, the ones that fell off the tree after the yard got blown, you know, it's, I don't know.
I guess
Some people are talking about seeing the literal matrix, seeing through things when they're doing, what is it, that DMT or whatever, and I start to
Well,
wonder, maybe I've got more DMT in my brain than everybody else, because
what if you are just an antenna, right? Your body, your brain, all these things, your thoughts, everything. If you accept the fact that, hey, I'm definitely receiving, spiritual information, insight, innateism, instincts, all that shit, right? Like when we're standing somewhere and we have a feeling, it's like, oh, you know what? For some reason, I feel like I need to get out of here. I was going to go to this place, but something's telling me not to go. And then you find out that it was good you didn't go because something else happened, right? Like, so if you just accept that you are an antenna and you trust that you have some influence on that, because you have to interpret that information, you can deny it. I think most people, I spent a lot of my life just denying my internal compass and trusting what everybody else told me. It's like, no, this is what you do. You go and you get a job and you save up your money and you work hard and eventually things just work out, blah, 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 that kind of, I'm like, okay, I trust y'all. Y'all know more than I do. Right. So I go through life and I'm like, oh, I know there's got to be something better, different. I'm not cut out for this, whatever, all these thoughts. Right. And then at a certain point, I made a big fucking decision. I took a leap of faith, like the Fool card in the tarot, the first card of the deck, right? Fucking happily jumped off the cliff. I quit my job, went back to school. I started saying, you know what? I'm ready to try this business owner, entrepreneur idea. And I just fucking made the leap. And that was 15 years ago. And I ain't had a fucking paycheck in 15 years. But man, the shit I've done in the past 15 years, it's a lifetime. It's like I had a second life. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
And it was just because I went internal.
Right. And Ken Wheeler would agree with you on his analogy is a radio. You turn the radio on, it receives a signal. Are
Yeah.
you the radio? You're not really the radio. You're receiving the signal because you're in the bodies. So if the body's like the radio, but where's that signal coming from?
Hey, you know what? We are radio. We are radio right now. We're just all on different little frequency channels. And you know what? I might be channel 92.3. Dom might be 94.1, and I'm getting a little bit of him bleeding over into my signal, right? And then you might be 91.9. You right there. You right below me. We all in the same frequency. What about people that, you know, watching TV all day and shit? They probably like channel fucking, you know, 103 or whatever. They on the other end of the spectrum, but I think we are kind of like a
I
radio.
bet you that's what that telescope is, that Lucifer telescope. I bet you that shit is picking up the broadcast from the stars. Stars
Yeah, you
are
gotta
like
wonder why
vibration.
they're so fascinated and enamored with that shit, but they've shown us nothing about it.
We all got a star.
Yeah, and they might even be picking
That's
up
what my mother
technology.
told me.
And you know what that sounds like? Like that's a natural human conscious development of a thought to have, in my opinion. You mature to a certain point once you start thinking in these terms, like we all do. Like what is all this about? Where does me come from? Is it internal, external? Is this mechanical? All these ideas, right? So you talk about the Lucifer telescope. To me, that could be just one person. Like if I had $1 billion and I was really freaking out about this thought, oh shit, where's this signal coming in? What is this God thing? And then I just built some big ass elaborate rail gun or a fucking Lucifer
And you were
telescope,
right.
right?
And then all of
It
a
don't
sudden
mean
you're
that
like, I was
motherfucker's gonna
right.
find the right answer. I might have the answer. Why does the dude that has the rail gun and the fucking Lucifer telescope the one that's closer to getting the right answer? Maybe I got it.
Or maybe
You
that's
know?
where they
Maybe you
started
do.
building the Hadron Collider back in 1954.
Yeah, that might be
You know?
fucking just some crazy dude going, oh my God, this is God. I gotta find God with this. But we all trying to find it a different way, right? Because we can't fucking build a goddamn Lucifer telescope and you know what I mean?
God is everything. That's how I see it.
But it's the same fucking question, ain't it?
Whatever
What is
God
this
is,
thing?
man. The energy. But
We are
I'm gonna
it, bro.
jump
We
off.
have him.
If you guys want me to leave it open, but I
Where
gotta
you
go.
at?
I gotta jump off.
I wouldn't mind sharing this a
Yeah,
little
well,
bit, guys.
That's a good show, bro. I'm gonna jump out too.
I
I'm
should
about to work
probably
on
go.
some
I'm
music.
sorry. I'm sorry I monopolized so much of the conversation, but thank you very much for having
No,
me
it's
up.
great, bro.
Appreciate it.
Good show. Good talking to you. It was fun.
Anytime, Paula. That's why I have
Been
this
nice talking to y'all.
Yeah, yeah.
platform.
Have a good day.
Before
All
you
right,
leave
Later,
y'all
and leave
Dom.
take
in
care
the
Later,
now.
groove,
Charles. Peace out.
before you leave
You
in the
too.
groove,
In the groove.
we hear. Okay, I don't know if you can hear. In the groove left. I was going to share something. Oh, well. Can you hear me, Charles?
Yeah.
Okay. The term of be in the world but not of it. Be in the body but not of it. Hence, you're not the body. You're going to be in the bigger world. This is the Russian doll kind of ideal. People will say, well, I'm the body. I said, okay, so when you go in the shower, what are you going in with? You're going within that body. You're never outside of that body. Not in a conscious state anyway. So, and then of course, to me, the matrix, in my position, I'm just sharing my position and it can change, where we're data, we're energy, we're data. You know, we have radio frequencies. Do we see all the frequencies? Probably not. We have radio frequencies. Do we see them? Probably not. What we do is we have to entertain the senses. So I'm going to give electrical wire a voltage. I'll call that 120. Okay, so why am I giving in numbers? Well, just to anchor a little bit. It's like language. It's a way of anchoring us here by saying I need labels. You know, is it really about 440 or 432? Or is it about sound that we give a number to? So some of these sounds that these people are talking about are so low pitch, you're not going to hear them. This is why silence is golden. That's why some animals, like a dog, can pick up a sound that we can't pick up. We can make something that mimics it, and then we start picking up a sound. But for most of us, we want to hear sounds that the senses can pick up.
I would like to hear silence because I've had tinnitus for about 15 years, and it's really freaking annoying.
The
And
silence?
silence would be beautiful. That would be wonderful.
It depends, Charles. I mean, Paula, if you're in a state of silence, peace, and then you can meditate, which then at that point you're listening to something, whatever that may be to you. You might already be doing it on a regular basis, but maybe you're trying to correlate them. You know, what am I supposed to do with all this information or these thoughts? You know, and for some people that's challenging. If not most of us, it would be challenging. You know, imagine most of us trying to figure out how. Here, I'll give you this technology called a laptop. I want you to deconstruct it. You would need a lot of people involved in it, and there's probably a lot of people that have to do certain substances just to get close enough to say, okay, so I'm going to do a micro board. I'm going to invent a car, something that's data. You know, to me, a lot of it is like, is this technology even human based? You know, it'd be different if we were just called humans, but we literally do call ourselves on a regular basis human being. So there's a part of us that knows we're beyond just the human part, even though it's still beautiful. But the problem is when you become attached to it, then you realize it's constantly aging. Even the ongoing suffering.
It surely is.
It does, Paula. That's just the rude awakening. When we start seeing loved ones die, you know, it's probably unfortunate. You know, we do have a program running. It's unfortunate when we see somebody younger than us move on. But then once we find out that they were suffering, who knows what their story is? It's like not to favor this one way or another. When I hear about people that it's about molestation, I don't know the story. Meaning that I don't know what karma they have with each other. Well, Dom, it's just wrong. Wrong with what? Where was the parents involved in all of that? Where was the community involved in all of that? Are we going to blame the person that did the molestation? Because where was anybody there for him? Like, we're so quick to throw somebody under the bus. I'm not saying I value that stuff.
Well, what did I do wrong when I was 3?
Don't know. Paul, I wouldn't know. I could speculate, but even that.
You guys gonna stay up on here?
No, Charles, I'm good to go. I don't know about Paula, but I'm good to go.
I'm good. I just
Thanks.
wanted to hear what Dom had to say before I left.
Okay. Paula, we can always pick this up another time. Thanks, Paula. And same with you, Charles.
All right. Take care, y'all.
Thank you, guys.
Do me a favor, Charles. Stop clinging around your cat. Give it some space.
No, she's sleeping now.
There you go. Because she's gonna cling with you later. Ciao, guys.
Adios.
All right, everyone. Appreciate you all. And I'm stoned. I'm out of here.